on top of it. You're never going to be able to reach him.
Don't tell the DM, all right?
Are you going to slash it in its snout? Or,
All right, you guys are cutting through my plans rather fast. All right.
To be fair, I already knew about that part of that plan.
What we didn't know is Stefano has a bag of silver at all times. He's just
like
gonna
a bag of holding. Except it's
he's gonna pocket sand the werewolf with silver dust.
I actually have powdered silver.
Nice. Guess what? Malcolm probably does too.
I don't have powdered silver, but I have that residium. So
that doesn't do anything.
I mean,
listen, it makes things magical. I can at least try to blind him with it.
I mean, you do have silver coins.
Oh, that's true.
True.
All else fails.
You guys just start pegging him with coins.
Eat it. Eat it.
Or doing like half points of damage, and we round down. So it's...
I mean, honestly, I feel like that's how that should be ruled. If you're trying to kill a monster by throwing coins at it, like you'd be annoying it, but you wouldn't be hurting it.
Well, monk, if you're a monk and you take the what is it, tavern brawler feat, you get proficiency in the weapons you just make. Right. So by some bardic wording, you could convince the DM that these are weapons that you're just making and get to a D4 plus your dex.
I found out how fun Tavern Brawler can be in a because I killed an enemy and I asked the DM, if I were to pick this enemy up, would that count as an improvised weapon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, yes, but it would also be incredibly entertaining.
I once, as a barbarian, beat 2 goblins to death with their friend, who was still alive.
I did.
Until the first other one died.
I was on a roof, so I just grabbed an archer and used an improvised weapon to throw him at the other guys on the ground. Like a javelin.
Well, this is gonna be an interesting fight then.
Oh, yeah.
Well, either way, shall we begin? Has anyone heard from Kimmy?
No,
she was just online, so she's probably still on her way back.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully she gets here very soon.
All right.
Oh, she's in chat. Okay, cool. All right. When last we left our band of interesting adventurers, they had spent a long amount of time now, several days in Whitestone, exploring, purchasing goods, setting up for future plans. Some, Morgan, Stefano, getting involved with the local sect of the Clasp, performing a few tasks, and ultimately running into some old friends. After some squabbles in a tavern, several meetups outside in just the city streets, some old relationships were altered slightly. For the better or for worse still remains to be seen. Malcolm set to hunting for the local sect of the Claret Order, finding their small in-town hideout. He met Bartholomew Ord, the current leader of this sect, an interesting and somewhat abrasive man who informed him of the tradition that they have during the full moons, and told him of a hideout that they keep just outside the city in the Alabaster Sierras. Afterwards, the party went about on all their various tasks, Tana setting to building a magical gun, of which he made certain bits of progress, encountering small artisans and craftsmen along the way who could help out with varying things, and maybe, if everything works out, all of it will come together at some point. The party then proceeded to investigate some of the local issues in the town, finding no major issues until they traced a small lead that they overheard in a tavern to a farm outside of the city. At this farm, there was tales of a series of slaughterings of certain animals, mostly the cattle, where they would be found taken outside of the fences, outside of the gates, and their throats would be torn out more or less consistently. The bodies would be mauled, but otherwise there would be no real event. No farmhands were ever hurt to the party's knowledge, no major destruction of property, simply animals going missing and being killed. After speaking with the foreman of the farm, Jumar Jenin, they set to trying to wait for the creature at night. With a first night going uneventfully, staking a cow to the fence. They did so again the second night, which about halfway through, with Stefano and Malcolm taking to the trees and watching from the other side, while Soraya, Tanith, and Edwin waited within the farmlands by the cattle that was staked to the fence once more. A large werewolf standing close to 10 feet tall. This dark gray fur, scars along the face, the muzzle, through one of the eyes, many more fresher wounds along the arms and the hands, creeped forward from the tree line, and after a brief moment of pause, began sprinting forward towards the cattle. And it is in that moment that we begin. All right, so to start, everybody roll initiative.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not. Did you update the Roll20 map?
Oh, right. I have it updated on my screen.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, god damn it. I got bad for initiative, guys.
I'm sure.
I just
That
hope it's
one.
better than mine.
Oh, god.
That one. Okay. I was like, wait. Dude, you
jeez.
can't see
Move
it?
out.
All right. So, 25 to 20?
Yeah, Malcolm has a 24.
Oh, my god.
That
All
natural
right.
20?
You got
No,
what?
that's a 19.
Oh,
Oh. 15 to 20.
16.
16. Oh, right. I need to pull up Soraya's character sheet in the meantime.
You did say she is right outside of her house, so I assume she's coming in just a moment.
Oh, cool. Well, then, I just won't. 10 to 15.
I got an 11.
11. And where you at, Edwin?
3. No,
Yeah.
2. Sorry.
2.
Big old 2.
All right.
3 minus 1.
Perfect. What more could you ask for?
I don't know if you want to say I was holding my action, though, because I was, as far as I...
Yes,
remember.
you guys will have one round.
Okay.
Well, not a full round, but you all have an action to before
Yeah.
anything else happens.
Okay.
All right. So, as the werewolf, in breaking from the tree line, has moved that distance about 40 feet, all of you can release whatever it is that you were waiting on.
Hold person.
All right.
Firing an arrow.
Anyone else?
I cannot touch my character.
Oh, I cannot move.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I can't move either.
What the heck? I feel like we change this every single time the map
Yeah.
changes. All right, let's. I'm not even making new tokens. These are the same tokens we've used every time.
You have to save them to the character sheet. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I'm just doing it like go edit token. You can control this one.
Yeah. What you got to do is you got to open up the character sheet, then click edit,
There we go.
and then below the avatar there should be a token spot. Then you save that token there, and then every time you pull the character onto the thing, it'll pull the token as well.
Okay. Well, I'll do that later. I'll make a little note. Okay. Soraya, welcome.
Us getting murdered.
Not yet. It'll take a little
I think
bit.
you're muted.
Kill me now.
There we go.
We've all been
Nathan's
there.
like, can do, can do.
Yes, well, if you insist.
No, I walked in right as you were all rolling initiative.
So you got a 1, right?
I did.
Oh God, I was joking.
No. Oh, no.
I thought you were joking. All right, well.
Oh, the wrong time to take a drink.
All right, so hold person. Say wisdom save. And that will be a 17.
Yeah, he passes.
And then an arrow from Stefano.
That's a 26 to hit.
Oh no, his AC's 27.
Damn it.
Go ahead and roll some damage there.
All right, and it's a crit. We just double crits, right?
Yeah, it's easier.
So that's going to be 14 damage.
14 damage.
Not a silvered arrow.
Oh, I know.
Is well aware of our equipment.
Oh God.
I'm well aware of most of your equipment. I feel like sometimes things get sprung up on me that I forget were there.
Oh, so like my Gatling gun that's filled with silver bullets, right?
Yeah, like that one. The one you got from Underworld, right?
Yeah.
So was anyone else holding an action that they would like to
I
do?
got a natural 12 to hit with a firebolt.
The firebolt, that will hit.
Oh,
Big.
I mean, Malcolm, because contract was for discretion. Go ahead.
That'll be 8 fire damage.
8 fire damage, all right. Malcolm?
Yeah, could I use that action to move?
Sure. You can start running out. You would have been running alongside him as you do so. He will be faster than you.
Well,
But it would have been like in tandem, yes.
Okay. So let's see, I'd probably be 30. Thereabouts, sure.
All right. Soraya, would you like to do anything with your single action here?
I think I was holding a dart, but I also just looked at the map and he's huge.
He is huge.
Oh God.
What the hell, you guys?
Nathan?
I have to climb him.
Oh, the first response always.
Curious question.
What's up?
Where's the cow?
You know, I almost made a cow token. I almost did that. Here, we'll use. I don't know what token in here works as a cow.
Hamburger.
I wish I just had like a hamburger
horse.
token. That would be amazing.
Possibly a horse. I don't know.
I got a heathen's 20 for my dart.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Cool. It's only 1d4. Oh, it's only 4 total.
All right. Here, we're
Hey.
gonna scare Stefano a little bit. This
No.
is the cow.
I thought you added your
Stefano
dexterity.
doesn't like it.
So the cow will be right there.
Fano's nightmares are all coming to fruition.
God, it's like a non-stop here. You could say he's a scaredy cat.
This, wait until you
Disadvantage.
see this werewolf turn into a shark.
I accept that, Nathan.
And then how much was that, Soraya?
Oh, it was 4. Did I mute myself? No, I didn't.
I was honestly just not paying attention very well.
Oh
'cause I
no,
was
it's
looking
chill.
for a cow
It's only a
token.
total of 4.
4.
I
All right.
rolled a 1.
Gotcha. All right. That was, I believe that was everybody. So, as the werewolf bursts forward from the trees, sprinting forward, these wide steps leaving these deep claw marks into the ground, Malcolm takes off from the trees after it, Stefano loosing an arrow as Edwin raises a hand and starts to try to cast hold person, but finding no purchase on the body as it just continues to lunge forward. Tanith letting loose a firebolt, blasting into its skin, and you see this charred chunk of fur and flesh fly from the shoulder. Soraya's dart flying, which the arrow and the dart both impact and leaving very little marks upon the skin. That brings us then to the top with Malcolm, with his 24.
Get him.
Get him. All right, so let's see here. All right. Sure. Do this.
Sure.
I'm gonna move right there.
All right.
And this, okay. Can you just read like obviously he's big, but you described in the last episode like he looked a certain way, like
so he is standing close to 10 feet tall, very broad, very thick, especially from going up at the waist, very tree trunk barrel chest. This large scarred muzzle with several long marks that go over the top and down the side, several across from the forehead down the eye as well, a very marked up face. One of the ears, now you can see in the full light, has been torn almost in half, the top part of it just completely missing. The body covered in various marks, several fresh ones you can see down on the forearms and the hands themselves. This kind of dark gray mottled black fur.
All right. So I'm going to... Oh, man. I was not expecting a 24 initiative from Malcolm. All right, so... I'm not like trying to intimidate or anything, but I'm just going to say, just to see if there's any reaction from it. I'm just gonna say like, Malcolm's gonna say, like, because he has doubts right now at this point. Stop terrorizing the farms.
and
at that moment, huh?
Oh no, continue.
Oh, and as I say that, Malcolm is action, transform, bonus action, blood right.
Put that off to the side for now. There we go. All right. So, sprinting forward, you see Malcolm's form swell as he finishes, shouting, "Stop!" And with the fur bursting forward, sprouting through his skin, the face elongating and the teeth growing forward, peeking out from under the lips, the fingers extending into the long claws. You see this moment of, there is recognition in the eyes of this. But with what looks to be just a smile, it keeps going.
Okay. Oh, and there is fire on my claws as well. Fire claw.
Fire claw. All right, Tanith, what you got?
Well, I really don't want to get anywhere near this thing if I don't have to. So I'm going to keep playing the range game and try to shoot it with another firebolt.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm got a natural 18.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, and let me roll damage. That is a 7.
7 more damage. All right. Letting loose another firebolt fly. It impacts, and you just hear this as this another flaming chunk of flesh burns away off of one of its arms.
I'm gonna move over towards. I'm assuming this is the cow.
Yes, that is our shambling cow.
Our shambling cow. I want to try and hit it to get it to move away.
Well, I mean, he's currently tied to the fence.
Okay.
If you damage that cow, you're paying the fine.
I'm gonna try and untie this cow.
Sure.
Because it's literally just sitting here waiting to die.
It is panicking. It's pulling and yanking against the where the bridle has been tied to the fence.
Yeah, he's gonna try and get that thing free.
All right. Yeah, I mean it's easy enough. It's not like you guys tried to make a permanent fixture. So you untie it, and you can go ahead and move as normal. Whatever's left with the cow.
That might have been my whole movement just to get here.
Okay, well,
so,
you are now holding the reins of the cow.
Yep.
All right, that brings us next to Stefano.
All right, cool. So I need you guys to understand that this is a very well thought out plan. All right, so I'm gonna run and end up here. It's 30 feet. And I would like to tie some rope into a lasso.
Okay.
Do you need me to make any check for that, or is it just...
Well, for a man of your expertise, we'll say you can tie a knot.
Okay, I'm going to loop it around this werewolf's neck. And... I'm going to try and pull him backwards.
Well, so first I want you to make an attack roll.
Right, of course. I don't have proficiency in... Wait, do I... I've hung someone before with a noose.
That does not count. You hung a guy that was drunk.
Same thing. All right.
You're right. Being a werewolf, being drunk. Same feeling.
All right. So I got an 11.
All right, that does not hit. So as you leap forward, noose in hand, you manage to you kind of hit the top of the head, and you see the noose start to slide forward, but then as it moves forward, it just gets whipped right back off before it can find any purchase.
And now I'm dead. So, hold on. Is it... I'm going to actually bonus cunning action dash because I don't want to face this.
Sure. It'll get an attack of opportunity.
That's fine. It won't. It's. I'm running over here.
All right. Yeah, that's gonna be a 23.
Oh God.
And that is going to be 11 piercing damage.
Oh my God, that's so much piercing damage.
As it swings round and catches you with a claw, trying to bring you to your knees, but instead you slip away with this large gash in your side, running for the cover of the tree line.
That was a third of my health. Doing so well, guys.
All right, anything else from you?
Just terrified.
All right, Stefano is terrified. Next up, we have the werewolf, who is going to run by, and Malcolm, he's just going to try and shove you as he moves by. He will not make move to swing at you.
Okay.
Who is going to sprint up to the fence.
So he's going to try and shove me?
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to push you out of the way as he runs by, just bumping into you hard. And to Tenneth, he is going to lunge forward and try to bite. That's going to be a natural 20.
Oh boy.
I am going to use a reaction.
Yes.
And I'm going to activate my my one blood maledict that I have available. And I am going to amplify it. I'm gonna roll my my blood right damage dice, but he now has disadvantage on that attack roll you just made and the next one.
All right. So that changes it to a 14.
Let me check my AC. That meets my AC.
Oh, hey, it's not a crit anymore. So
Yep.
So instead of taking, so it would have been double this. So instead of taking 24 damage, you're gonna take 12. As it gets close to the fence, it starts dropping to all fours, and this loping run, just this, as it throws its body weight over the fence, leaping forward and catching your shoulder into the front part of your neck and chest with its jaws, sinking in deep and tearing outward. This big spray of blood as the werewolf then reels back, looking at you and the cow with just this. All right, and next we have Edwin.
Okay. Can I maneuver myself to get in between Tanith and the cow and just sort of make him drop the cow reins so it runs away?
I mean, yeah, definitely.
All right. I just want to get here then, so that I'm in between.
Yeah, so then the cow just immediately takes off running.
All right. That's all I wanted. I'm then going to cast as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Where would you like to put your spiritual weapon?
Right here.
All right. I'm going to make note for tokens that I need to have.
And my spiritual weapon is also a shovel.
All right. For now, your spiritual weapon is going to be a thief token.
Cool. That's a big token. I need to roll for that. Ooh, that's a natural 18.
Here, we'll do this. There. It's all tinted blue. So wherever you want to put it.
Alright. That's right there.
And you said that was an 18 to hit?
Yeah, natural 18.
There you go. That'll do it.
Is D8. Actually have everything organized this time. That's 8 damage.
8 damage. All right.
8 damage. And then with my action, I would like to... I'm just going to swing at him. Take out my mace and swing at him. Never mind, that's 2.
Yeah, so as you conjure this weapon, you see this ethereal shovel manifest, which swings forward and it just cracks it across the back of the skull with this loud thud. You step forward to swing with your mace, but as it reels back from your first attack, you just whiff and end up cracking into the fence itself a little bit. You see the board splinter underneath the swing. Anything else from you?
Nope, that's it.
All right, Soraya, what you got?
Is he still on Tanith?
He's very close to Tanith, but after biting him, he like tore outward. So he's not like latched onto him or anything.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna hit him with my short sword if I can.
All right.
I don't really have anything else. The cow's already taken off, right? The shambling cow?
The shambling cow has left. Okay. As fast as it can possibly run the other direction.
Cow legs. Okay. 14 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
It does?
Yeah. Oh, he's not wearing armor.
I expected a creature this size to be a little hardier.
Oh, you don't know its HP.
That's fair. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, speaking of, now its HP's double.
Oh god. 6 total slashing damage.
All right.
Shit, there's a thing I can do, isn't there?
All right, unless
Just
you
gonna
probably
punch him.
went forward, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all
My
right,
bad.
cool. I'm just making sure you're not, like, throwing the short sword at him.
Oh, no. I can't throw it. It was a gift.
All
I'm
right.
gonna punch him.
And punch it.
Natural 20.
Hey, there you go.
The first time I punch anything ever. Where's my D4? Here it is. Please don't suck. Oh. 11 bludgeoning.
All right. So you step forward, swinging the short sword, and you drag it across, and you see this like line that gets traced, but there's no real blood being drawn. It's just this deep cut into the skin, and as you swing forward and crack the fist in, you feel the impact, you feel the muscles tense, and it seems like there's a crack beneath, but as you pull your hand back, it's just this kind of tensing of muscle.
Oh, gross.
All right, anything else from you?
No, I think that's all I can do.
All right, back to the top, Malcolm.
All right. Get stuff done now. So Malcolm just sees the werewolf attacking his friends. And do the one thing that he can do. Move up. And make attacks. All right. I forget. Nathan, are you doing flanking in this or not?
Yeah, you're flanking. Definitely.
All right. First attack is a 27 to hit.
You know,
or 25 to hit, sorry.
Oh, dang, you know, that change makes a difference here.
All right. And then, so that damage is going to be it's going to be 11 points of slashing damage plus 2 points of fire damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to make another strike. That is going to be a Heathen 20.
You got it.
Or another 8 points of slashing and other 2 points of fire.
All right. So as you sprint up behind it, the flaming claws swinging forward, you drag them across its back, and you can feel like the thick, taut muscle underneath as you just drag down, the flames starting to carve into it. You start to see these cauterized scars beginning to form where you drag the claws across, but less damage than you want as you just start jabbing with as much force as you can. Anything else from you?
That'll be it.
All right, Tanith, what you got?
I'll growl.
So this thing is it's vertically tall, right?
Yes, it's about 10 feet tall.
If I used a cone attack and aimed upwards, would I be able to avoid hitting anything behind it?
I'd say stuff behind it could make a dex save. And instead of taking half, it would be for all the damage.
I'm
Because I think to aim at the angle where you would need to perfectly clear Malcolm, you'd have to be practically laying on the ground.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. It's still on the one side of the fence, though, right?
Yes.
And if I were to try and jump over the fence, would that be enough to get an attack of opportunity on me?
If you are not leaving the area in which it can hit you, you can move as you will, and it won't trigger opportunity attacks. It's just in leaving its actual range of combat that you trigger it.
then I'm just gonna step over the fence and I'm going to try and stab at this thing with my rapier. So
All right.
bonus action, summon it in my hand, and then try to stab it in the back. Let's see here. That is 17.
That'll hit.
Or 3 piercing damage plus 3, so 6.
6.
Yep.
All right. You jab forward and you see the rapier hit and start to dig into the flesh, but then as the muscles flex and bind, it actually stops the rapier from going in further, and as you tear it out, the wound is almost non-existent into its body.
Ah.
Anything else from you?
No.
All right, Stefano,
Well,
what you
actually,
got?
yeah.
Oh.
I'm just going to finish my movement here,
Cool.
and that'll be it for me.
All right, Stefano, what you got?
You laugh like you've already heard my plan.
I mean, I feel like I already know, but I'm not laughing at what Kimmy put in the message.
Oh, yeah, no, that's hilarious. All right, so I'm going to be moving and then using feline agility to end up right here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to jump onto his back. And I'm going to force this potion of reduce down his throat.
So first, I want you to make an athletics check.
God, don't, Rakdos, come on. This is exactly what you want. Okay, that's going to be an 18.
All right, so you, in leaping forward, which Malcolm, you see this cat fly just upwards and try and land on its back, grabbing tufts of fur and starting to pull itself up quickly. All right, and you get over to the top and you start trying to force feed it a reduce potion?
Yes.
I want you to just make an attack roll.
Okay. I'm not proficient. Am I using dex or strength?
You can not, use dex on this.
Okay.
This is more about being
Sweet.
accurate than being strong.
Sweet. All right. Come on, Rakdos. Don't you screw me.
Screw
This is
him.
all I can do.
Screw him.
God damn it. Rakdos, I don't
What'd
like
you
this.
get?
I got something. I got a. So just to double check, I don't have proficiency, right?
Correct. Unless you have proficiency in potions.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's gonna be a 12.
It's gonna be a 12. That one will not hit. So as you
Ah.
swing forward, you just uncorking the potion with a little, and you swing it forward and try to just get it to its mouth and just start dumping, but splashing a little bit onto the side of its head, it just kind of reels to the side as it starts trying to look up and see what's now on its back.
Oh God, I'm in a terrible position. Okay, I can't run away. I cannot take another opportunity attack. Do I still have my bonus action?
I'm gonna say no for that one.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold on for dear life and do that thing where like the big guy's reaching behind and
All right. So you're gonna do your best to avoid him. Makes sense. All right.
Well, that was my
Next.
plan. I hope you guys have a better one.
Well, next we come to his turn.
Oh god.
So now he is going to, so using the fence as a leaping point, he's going to jump over Edwin and Soraya. So he will take opportunity attacks for the lot of you. Except for you, Stefano, because you are not leaving his attack.
All right.
You're coming with him. Unless you would like to let go.
Nope. I'm
All right.
terrified of what happens if I let go.
Naturally,
quick question, Nathan.
What's that?
Does flanking apply to opportunity attacks or no?
I believe so. That's actually a fair thing that's worth checking at some point. But we'll say for now, yes. Yes, it does.
Okay.
I have a 22 to hit, and I rolled a 1. on my damage. So 4 in total.
All right.
I rolled a natural 18 and 5 bludgeoning.
All right.
14 to hit.
That'll do it.
Stefano's just a hat now.
That is 8 points of slashing and 1 point of fire damage. Wow, D4. A bit of different 4.
And Soraya?
I got a 9.
That one unfortunately will not hit, so as it's using the fence as its launch point, throwing its body weight over your heads, you all swing for it, finding a little bit of purchase, but never really drawing much blood, and it lands flying over your heads by several feet before landing on the ground with this, and it starts sprinting forward again, straight for the cow, which it just grabs, plunging the claws into the side of its body. And it reaches down and just in a swift motion bites at the throat and tears it out.
Oh.
Lifting the cow upwards in its arms, it turns and throws it towards Soraya and Edwin.
Oh.
I want both of you just to make dexterity saving throws.
Motherfucker.
Sure. 5.
10.
All right. So both of you, as this hurtling, bloodied mass of cow sails through the air, impacting both of you and throwing you into the fence, you will take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as both of you are knocked prone.
Sure.
Oh, that's fun.
And that will then bring us to Edwin.
Well, I'm going to get back up, first of all. How far can my spiritual weapon move?
It's 30 feet, I think.
20. No, you can cast it 30 feet, but you can move it 20 feet. 5, 10.
You know, it just has.
Okay, yeah, it's in range. So I'm going to move my spiritual weapon over top of the fence and swing at it with that. And that's going to be I have a plus what? Oh, yeah, 18.
Yeah, that'll hit.
I forget my spell attack modifier is +6 or something. It's crazy. And that's going to be 5 force damage.
All right.
Oh, do I go for damage or do I go stop it? Yeah, I'm just going to move up. I'm going to cast an inflict wounds.
All right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's an 18 to hit again.
Yep, that'll do it.
Alright. Inflict wounds again. D10. So that is going to be, oh my god, that is going to be 20 necrotic damage.
All right. So the spiritual weapon flying overhead and coming down over the top of its head, Stefano, you feel the wind from it as it connects with this loud bash of an impact into the top of its skull, sending it lowered, which Edwin steps forward and grabbing it by the top of the muzzle, this flash of magic extending down his forearm and erupting through the body as you see flesh peel away from around where the hand touched. The wolf reeling back with this... And I want you to make just a strength check, Stefano.
Oh no. Rakdos, come on. Come on, Rakdos. So this is strength. Is it athletics? Or just straight strength? It doesn't matter. I have a +1 to both. So that's going to be a 10?
10. So barely. Your hand's starting to slip off as you just yank on fur and kind of like your body thrown off, but your hand's still keeping the grip as you swing back in, barely managing to keep a grip onto its back. You are not quite thrown off.
Cat claws
I guess
to it.
Wow, I'm now slowly beginning to accept my life as the cape of a werewolf.
All right. Anything else from you, Edwin?
No, I'm good.
All right, Soraya, what you got?
So I had forgotten I have a reaction to being hit.
Oh yeah? What you got?
I, out
You
of
took
like
an attack off
pure
Kingdom.
fear and anger, I'm gonna use Hellish Rebuke.
All right.
I've never used Hellish Rebuke before. It's a dex save of 11, it looks like, which is really shitty.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 14.
He still takes half damage. And I have to remember what a D10 looks like.
And have to find 2 of them.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. For some reason, my sheet says 3d10, but when I look at the spell, it says 2. Oh, because it's 2nd level. Okay. Well, that sucks. It was a total of 10, so 5.
5 damage, all right.
5 fire damage.
This spark of this hellish energy that just, you see this bolt fly forward and impact, sending these white hot lines through the area beneath the skin. You see the veins like illuminating for a moment as this hellfire spreads rapidly through the body. And now you're pinned under a cow.
Now I am pinned under a cow. This poor cow. It's dead, isn't it?
Very dead. It is very bloody.
Can I get up?
Yeah, you can push it off you and get up.
I'm gonna push it off me and get up. So that leaves me with, where the fuck is my character sheet? That leaves me with 20 feet. He's only like 5 feet away from us, isn't he? Or is it further?
Sorry, what?
How far is he from us?
From you right now, he would be you're in melee range of him right now.
Cool. I'm gonna stab him.
All right.
Oh, that's okay. 24 to hit.
24, that will hit, yeah.
Oh shit. Got a 6. So that's 9 slashing. And I'm gonna punch him in the ass just for the fuck of it. He's running away from us. He's throwing cows at us. Stefano is his cape. 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Cool. 5 bludgeoning.
5 bludgeoning, all right. So stepping forward and swinging again, drawing this line that just elevates into this scar tissue almost immediately through across the back of its torso, swinging another punch that just impacts into this solid mass of corded muscle, just not finding a lot of purchase in these attacks. Anything else from you?
No, I think that's it.
All right, Malcolm, what you got?
All right. I'm gonna move up. Because Stefano's on the token, right there. And I'm gonna attack it again.
All right.
That is a natural 20.
You know, that's gonna hit.
So that is going to be 16 points of slashing damage and 6 points of fire damage.
All right.
All right. For the my main attack, and then my bonus action attack follows through. Another claw. Oh, what goes around comes around. That is a natural 1.
All right. So, Stefano, I want you to make a dexterity save.
Thanks. My perfect plan is now ruined. Oh, hey, that's actually pretty good. That's a proficient in that. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not super good at it. I'm not. So it's only a 19.
That's still going to be enough as you see Malcolm lumbering forward, just swinging. The first one carving a massive chunk. The second one swings with this wide arc, and you just, with eyes wide, pick your feet up beneath you as it swings to where they were just a second ago. Anything else from you, Malcolm?
Nope.
All right, so then that'll
Oh,
bring us
God.
to Tanith.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's just we're all clustered together.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to. Let's see. 5, 10, 15. Is it cost any movement to get over the fence?
No, it's a fence you could hop over.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to move over to here, hopping the fence,
All right.
and I'm going to use a firebolt because I really don't feel comfortable trying to use anything else. That's going to be a 16 plus 5 to hit.
That will hit.
Awesome. And 7 fire damage.
7 fire damage. All right. So again, just sidestepping over the fence, you launch a firebolt, hitting it in the side and just searing this dark blackened area of flesh across the side of its torso. Anything else from you?
How far away are we from like any of the farm property?
Well, you're in the pen right now with This is
I mean like the houses or
it's probably like walking, it's a good 5-10 minute walk. So probably like half a mile.
Nah, then I was gonna try and like see if they were within eyesight distance. I was just gonna start yelling, but I don't think they'd hear us.
It's also the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be subtle.
That would
welcome,
be
I can
it
use
for
guns.
now. I'm more just running in case this thing tries to lunge at me.
All right, Stefano, let's hear it.
It's a perfect plan. So you guys know how I have a ton of Residium?
Yeah.
A useless material. I'm going to grab a handful of it and try to blind this guy with it.
All right. I want you to just make an attack.
You say this like nothing I've done has worked.
I mean,
it hasn't.
Yeah.
Was it a powder or a rock?
Look, guys, I just got a 23. All right. So.
All right. So as you just pull out your pouch with, well, I guess, do you have it somewhere easily accessible?
I do. It's in my back.
All right.
It's like in my little back pocket.
Reaching into that pocket and just grabbing a handful of it, you reach forward and just slam into the front of its face, directly into one of the eyes and spraying over into the second. There's just a handful of this kind of glittery gray dust. And it starts thrashing, a hand up on the eyes as it swings back and forth, trying to shake clean all of this garbage that now covers the side of its face.
Perfect. Perfect plan, guys.
Go ahead and make another athletics check.
Oh, God. Okay, it's starting into a less of a good plan. That's an 18.
All right, you're still managing to keep hold.
Rakdos is approving of this. But not anything actually effective. All right, I guess that's my turn.
All right. So, from there, it is now the werewolf's turn. So it is going to it's going to try and grab you, Stefano, reaching over its back. So that's a 15.
Oh, that doesn't hit. Whew. Hourglass is 16.
All right, so as it's just reaching up, trying to grab you, you keep managing to just duck out of the way, just these claws getting inches from your face, and it's even catching its own body and trying to just grab you with, unable to see much now at this point, but is now going to turn and start sprinting.
Oh, God. Don't let it eat me.
So you're now on its back. So that's attack of opportunities from Edwin, Malcolm, Soraya.
I rolled a 2.
It's okay. Your inflict wounds is by far the highest damaging thing in
Oh,
this
yeah.
fight.
Oh yeah.
So I rolled 4 on the dice for a total of 11.
That's not gonna hit.
Yeah.
I got 24.
Yeah, that'll hit.
6 slashing total.
6 slashing. As it sprints away, you swing forward and just drag a line across from its side, from like waist down the thigh. As it clears the fence, again, just hitting the ground hard, it's stumbling forward. You can see the nose just and just unable to see, guiding itself only by smell at this point as it sprints back towards the trees. That then brings us to Edwin.
How's this thing looking?
It's certainly looking. It's looking very hurt, but it's kind of hard to see a lot of it as the body was already quite marked up to begin with. You see a lot of the marks that people have caused are looking very similar to the marks that were on him when he arrived to the fight, that same level of like healing and scar tissue. But the wounds, like inflict wounds, the muzzle is still incredibly messed up. There's burn marks on the body. You see the impacts from the spiritual weapon have actually left bloody marks.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna cast Hold Person.
All right. That's a 17.
God damn. Nope, can't do that. One second. I'm just gonna start chasing after it.
All right.
Hold Person was a bonus action. No, it's an action. All right. So I can get to there, and then I'm done because I can't do anything else.
All right,
Soraya.
Soraya.
Spiritual weapons with my bonus action. Hold on.
Spiritual weapon.
Yeah, there you go. He gets to there. Now I'm done.
All right, Soraya, what you got?
Sorry, my internet cut out. What?
Oh, just it is now your turn.
Oh,
He started sprinting away. Edwin tried to hold person, and it resisted, and then started to give chase.
How far is he?
From you right now? What was that? 5, 10, 15, 20? About 30, 35 feet.
Oh shit, that's within my regular movement. All right. Fuck, I don't have anything that can hold him. Yeah, I'm gonna use my movement to run after him. And does he still have that noose that Stefano tied on him?
No, Stefano couldn't actually get that to hold to a purchase on him. He does still have a Stefano on him.
Oh god. Shit. Okay. Fuck it. I'm gonna take some of I have so much rope. I'm gonna take some of the rope that I have. I'm gonna try and throw it over him to at least get a better grip and try to stop him. Like a horse's reins. Maybe.
All right. So go ahead and just make a just make an attack roll for that.
Okay. Nope. I got a 6.
A 6? Yeah, so as you just grab both ends of a section of rope and throw it, trying to get the end over and around the front of its head so you can pull back. But instead, just as it starts to kind of find some purchase, it just slips out of one hand and kind of wraps it back around to you, not able to actually get a grip on there and actually do anything with it.
This asshole. I guess I'll just punch him then.
All right.
I'll punch him while I run after him. God, why do you have to ride everything we come across, Morgan?
It's not a true battle unless Stefano rides it away.
Second time.
You distracted me, and I only got a 10.
That one does not hit. So as you reel back with the rope in one hand and you try to lash out with the one that it had slipped out of, but in its sprint forward, you just can't manage to actually land the hit yet.
Oh, God.
Anything else from you?
No.
All right, Malcolm, back to the top.
All right. So I'm going to move up to there. And I am going to attempt but I'm going to attempt to grapple it.
All right. So go ahead and make your strength check. Or athletics, as it will.
And I have advantage on strength checks because I'm in werewolf form. Oh boy, Ravnica dice. It's the same number. That is a straight 9.
All right, yeah, as you leap forward and as you reach out to grab him, you would just kind of wrap your hands around the waist in an attempt to just leaping forward after it to drag it to the ground, not wanting to crush Morgan or crush Stefano in your grip, but as it just reaches down and tears your hands away as it keeps moving forward.
All right. I don't really have anything else on my bonus action I can do, so that's my turn.
All right. Tanith.
All right, I don't really like this, the thought of losing our rogue to this thing. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, I can't do the. I'm not going to use that against it. I'm going to use. Yeah, I'm going to try and use magic missile.
All right. So yeah, you just 3 bolts.
Yep.
Roll some damage.
Okay. Okay. That's a 1, a 2, and a 2.
All right, 5 damage. So as he keeps going forward, Stefano now on his back, swinging around as all these things are happening into this werewolf. 3 bolts, one into the side of the head, one into the arm, and the other into the side of the torso, one after another. Poof, 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 leaving these singe marks of arcane energy that just kind of glisten for a moment as the magic dissipates. Little bits of blood beginning to come out of the wounds.
And if I can still talk as a bonus action,
yeah, you can.
I'm just gonna try and call out to it. Just be like, "Come back here, you coward! Come back and fight like a man!" I'm trying to just provoke it into turning around.
All right, Stefano, what you got?
All right, so I'm gonna take my rope and I'm gonna kind of garrote it around this thing's neck.
All right.
And try to steer it towards the rock that's on the left.
All right. So first, just make an attack roll.
Gotcha. I'm still not proficient in rope.
And I'm going to say with this one at disadvantage, because to corrode it, you're going to have to let go with both hands.
Oh, God. I shouldn't have said anything. Okay. Okay, that's going to be a 13.
All right, 13 is going to barely do it.
Oh,
13 is
God.
the AC. So letting go with both hands and grabbing the rope, you throw yourself forward and swing the rope around, and as you start to fall back, it catches around its neck. So you have a grip for the moment.
So I'm going to try and maneuver it towards the big rock so that it just sprints fully into the rock.
Go ahead and just make an athletics check.
Come on, Rakdos. everything you want.
I heard
That's
that
an
one.
18.
That's an 18.
That is an 18. Thank you,
Right.
Rakdos.
So you see just in the blindness it pulls, and as it starts lurching left. Anything else from you?
No, because if I drink a health potion, I have to let go of one end, and I'm no way in hell am I doing that.
All right. Well, that brings us to his turn. Yeah. All right. So he's going to move the 10 feet and just straight into the rock with this. You hear the heaviness of this impact as his body connects face first into this rock. Just this loud crack as it skids forward and recorrects its course, but staggers along the way. Go ahead and make a strength check, Stefano.
That's a 10.
All right. Because you have the rope, you're managing to keep on there still. But again, you are so close to getting bucked off every time. But you are somehow keeping your grip on this thing. White-knuckled, bit of rope burn on your hands at this point, but it's going.
Not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna make it at least stop, so I don't know where to go from here.
Well, it is going to try to attack you. And that is going to be... Math. What was that number again? That's a 15.
Oh, that's one lower than my AC.
All right, so once again, reaching back as it keeps running, just swinging, trying to catch a grip on you. It's not able to find anything as it continues forward. Getting to the tree line at this point.
Now make an attack of opportunity.
Yes. Yeah, you and Saray will get attacks of opportunity.
Come on, Matt Mercer DM dice. 15 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So 9 points of slashing damage and 4 points of fire damage.
All right. So just dragging the claws across the back and this long line of scar tissue beginning to form and the flames cauterizing beneath it, and there's small trickles of blood pouring from little gaps in the wounds.
All right.
I only got a 12.
Yeah, that unfortunately will not hit. And now we come to Edwin.
All right. I'm going to get up to here. I am going to guiding bolt. It's an 8.
8 to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, that unfortunately will not connect. As you stepping forward and firing the bolt, it flies past its head, crashing into a nearby tree and sending splinters flying.
Yeah, I guess I'm done. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Oh, you can go. You can move your spiritual weapon.
I'll move my spiritual weapon again, even though I'm not going to catch up. Yeah, look at that there.
All right. That brings us to Soraya.
How fucking far has it moved?
40 feet.
Oh. We have the same movement speed. What the fuck? I'm gonna run after it. Oh shit, that's the wrong thing. I clicked the ruler instead of my token. Shit. I want gonna try and tackle it. See if I can knock it off course a little bit.
All right, go ahead and make a athletics check.
Oh God, this thing has to stop somehow. Natural 20.
There we go.
I have a 0 in athletics, just so y'all know.
Well, it's good that it was a natural 20 because he got a 23.
Oh.
So, sprinting forward, you just find this purchase in a solid bit of ground and launch your body sideways into his, connecting into the side of his rib cage. Just the blind staggering as it's trying to find its way back into the tree line. It's not ready for the hit, and as you impact, you hear this crack as your shoulder just impacts hard, and the body gets thrown off balance, slamming into one of the trees at the edge of the tree line, face first. And I'm glad you already picked up your dice.
What is it?
Strength check.
It's 11.
11. So with this one, one of your hands slips off the garrote, and you slide back down, landing on your feet behind it. But now, as it's staggering off the tree, there's splinters and bark just in its fur, some of them embedded into the skin even, as you see this almost crack in the tree that it impacted. Staggering forward now, just dazed and confused and blinded, trying to find an escape. Anything else from you, Soraya?
Do I still have a bonus action?
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch him.
All right.
Try and bop him right in the face.
Boop
Maybe
the snoot.
break his nose. 15.
That'll hit.
I'm gonna boop the snoot real hard. 5 bludgeoning total.
5 bludgeoning, and as it recoils from the tree and the head swings around, you bring a fist forward and just right into the side of the muzzle, crack it right back, and you see it swing and impact one of the trees again as he just unable to see very much now. The residuum starting to kind of get clear of the eyes, but still this cloudy vision. It just staggers, dazed from this double impact now. Anything else from you?
I think that's all I can do.
All right, Malcolm.
All right. I am going to that's my movement. I'm going to dash, but I'm going to be moving off map.
Okay.
What it currently has there.
Are you just trying to get to the other side of him, or where are you trying to go?
Oh yeah.
Barely on map.
Yeah, barely on map. And that is my turn. That's all I can do. I will ask, is anything, based on what Malcolm knows about werewolves and blood hunter stuff, is anything about this fight standing out to him in particular that would raise any red flags on certain things?
From what you know about werewolves, especially in comparison to the people of your order, there is more intelligence and choice here than in most werewolves. In many cases, in a place like this, a werewolf, especially being what is more or less cornered in a lot of these situations, would simply just choose to try and murder everything in the vicinity. There is more choice to it than it seems a normal werewolf would have.
Yeah. Good to know.
All right.
That's my turn.
All right. Tanith, what you got?
All right. I can go over there around the rock, and I'm gonna just try and shoot it with another firebolt.
All right.
That's a 16.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Awesome. 7 fire damage.
7 fire damage. As it's staggering forward, another firebolt flies forward, impacting it in the back and singeing this blast of fur off, leaving this scalded, burned skin beneath. What else from you?
Yep, just... Same thing as before. Just trying to shit-talk it into coming around and attacking me.
All right. Stefano.
All right. So I am going to grab the rope that was make the lasso again, and I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to toss it over the werewolf's throat and try to yank it down.
All right, make an attack roll.
Do I have advantage because I'm flanking? Am I flanking? I am flanking. Do I get advantage or?
Yeah, you can have advantage on this.
All right. Come on, Rakdos. Rakdos, come on. Better than that. Okay, a little bit better than that. That's a 17.
All right, so that'll hit. So you do manage to get the rope up and over, and it sinks in around the head.
And now I'm going to turn around, put it over my shoulder, and yank.
All right, give me a strength check.
That's an 18.
All right, it actually also got an 18. You're proving it.
I tried to prove it. I rolled so many 18s. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's a 13, actually, not an 18. Now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, 13.
Oh, well then, okay.
It was in the shadow.
The disappointment.
Damn it.
So you start to pull, and you feel the yank as you start to get a little bit of give before the weight pulls back, and you start to go backwards. The rope starts to just slide out of your hands as it now has effectively a leash, and it's running forward.
Can I use my bonus action to at least hold on to the leash?
Give me a dexterity save, or just a dex check, not a save.
All right, that's fine because I'm proficient at this. That's I'd add my proficiency bonus to dex checks, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, 17 then.
17. Yep, you reach out one hand and you can't get a firm grip on it, but you can keep hold.
I'm gonna fuck. I'm so disappointed.
All right, anything else from you?
No.
All right, so then it's now the werewolf's turn. And so Malcolm, you're going to have an attack of opportunity, and Stefano, I'm going to need you to make a strength check.
Let's do it. That's a 16.
All right.
Oh god, I didn't want to pass that, did I?
I mean, you can choose to let go since you passed it.
Nope. I'm gonna try and drag this thing back.
The real question is actually no. I'm not even gonna ask it. That is a natural 1.
Yeah. So just you whiff completely, and just claws digging into one of the nearby trees as you swing at it. It's just almost drunken stagger for the moment, making it hard to actually aim for precise movement. But it is going to turn, and after a brief moment of using just smell, and you can see the ears twitch, just this, it's just going to bolt and use its action to dash and sprint off into the forest. So, Stefano, at this point, you are being dragged behind it.
Oh god. Okay.
But at this point, it's far off the map. It is 80 feet into the forest.
No, I'm letting go. I'm not letting this thing take me back to its lair.
All right, so as the werewolf takes off, Stefano holding on for a moment, and as he starts to cross the tree line, the eyes get huge, and he just lets go. The werewolf, you hear it occasionally impact a tree, break a branch, as it just takes off, disappearing off into the distance.
Well, that could have gone better.
We can still track it down. It's obviously wounded. It's not exactly moving with very subtle movements.
True. I'm gonna drink a health potion.
Do you think I should get this checked?
Oh, God.
Looking under the wound?
I'm gonna toss him a health potion.
How much do those heal for?
2d4 plus 2.
For a standard health potion, yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
So
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Can try and track it.
We need to move quickly, though, before it gets too far into the forest and we have to deal with something else.
We have to keep pursuing it.
I'm gonna down one of my health potions. No, never mind. I'll save it. I'm only down 3 health points.
Oh, that took all of my rope.
Die.
Can you track it by smell? I say, looking to Malcolm.
Oh god, it took 50 feet of rope.
Okay, I'm prepared with like 2 kinds of rope.
Yeah. Yeah, Malcolm is going to try and track it. He has blood on his claws from fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna sniff it, get the scent.
All right, go ahead and just make a survival check with advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible for me to assist with him already having advantage.
You have super advantage,
honestly,
which means you have the party behind you now.
I have the party behind me. I feel confident. Come on, dice. Come on, dice.
I mean, could I just roll a survival check as well?
Yeah.
All right.
I would also like to roll a survival check, like relying on the broken everything.
All right, go ahead and make a group survival check. Why don't everyone go ahead and do so, as all of you are effectively going to be working together and trying to find where it went.
I rolled a 1. I am not helping anyone.
Stefano is lamenting the loss of his rope.
Heathen's 20.
All right.
24.
19.
24, 19.
I've walked so many dogs with that rope.
Forget the rope.
And what is this with?
This is survival.
Oh. 5.
All right, so Tanith and Stefano sit both, I think, the most bloodied of the group, recovering as Stefano laments his rope.
You know what? That's kind of accurate, though, because they got lost on the way to the farm.
We didn't get lost. We were exploring other areas.
But the other 3 of you, as you start to step into the forest a little bit, you see that there is this trail of just mashed and destroyed underbrush. There are places where trees are cracked, where branches have been snapped underfoot. It's not a very subtle trail.
Keep following it until we find it, I guess.
You want me to go ahead and out ahead?
Oh, I'm getting my rope back. I'm
Like
gonna.
the best idea. I will be close behind him.
I'm gonna.
30 feet.
If y'all are gonna push ahead, I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace on us.
All right.
Well, Malcolm will not be part of that because I am like
Far ahead are you going?
I'm dashing.
Oh God!
I'm also dashing.
Wait, how
I guess we're
fast
all-
do you move?
I can
Well,
move.
with dash, I'm moving 60 feet.
Oh, fuck that! I can move 80 feet with dash.
I know.
I'm
Stefano
dashing,
can move
but I'm
crazy
staying.
amount.
I'm gonna stay within 30 feet of Malcolm.
Oh shoot, my movement speed's actually 40. Yeah, it's 40. So I move 80 feet with dash.
So,
We're all just super fucking fast.
I mean, when dashing, yeah.
Question: how close are the trees? Like, can I go through the trees?
Like tree to tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're dense enough that you could go tree to tree with some effectiveness.
Okay, I'm doing that then.
All right, it's definitely not as fast as you could run, but you're well adept enough at it. You can at least keep up with the group.
Fantastic.
I mean, if we're all dashing, we're probably all staying together.
Yeah.
And try and keep as many of us within the 30 feet of Pass Without Trace as possible.
All right. I mean, it sounds like everyone's going to be more or less sticking together except Malcolm, who's taking point. So it's however far ahead you'd like to be.
I'll be like 15 feet ahead.
Okay. So
Dog.
taking a bit of point, Malcolm leads on as the group of you continue into the forest. Now getting to 1 or 2 in the morning. The moon high overhead, the cold night air, just the general silence of the forest, and an eerie silence that is unusual from what the group of you have experienced, especially through the last night, where even just rustling and the sounds of birds and all the nocturnal animals, most of it at this point, at least in the nearby vicinity, is silent. As you follow this trail for what seems to be quite a long time, but in reality only 20-30 minutes pass as you continue covering first 1 mile, 2 miles, heading deep into the forest where the light starts to become much more scarce into the dense overgrowth and the canopy above. But as you start to make your way forward, Malcolm, taking the lead of the group, you do start to get a little bit of a bearing of where you are as you move in farther. You notice that the path, while initially heading straight into the forest, has curved around and started to almost maintain the same depth in the forest as it was, but following it along towards the mountains off to the northeast.
Okay. 10 minutes into that trek, Malcolm would have reverted back to human form.
So Malcolm is now in front of you, running with his goggles.
So the werewolf was wearing the goggles through the whole fight, just saying.
Wolf goggles.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop.
All right. Yes, Malcolm stops, and in the next couple seconds, everyone catches up.
What's the matter?
This is heading into the mountains, or towards them at least.
And we could possibly cut him off before he even gets there. If he's wounded like we think he is, he's probably not moving as fast as he possibly could. It's only been, an hour or so now? There's no way he can keep up that pace for this long.
I'm gonna slide down the tree with my cat claws. Well, if he's really running towards the mountains, there's not much he can hide there. As long as he doesn't get into a cave, that is.
Mountains dangerous?
I'm a little afraid of being thrown off the edge. Just saying.
Malcolm has a general idea of what's in the mountains around Whitestone, just either from tales or knowledge from the
Yep.
There's quite a number of dangers in the mountains. And in regard to the werewolf, though, I really don't want to lead us into a potential pack of werewolves.
Well, look, if he had a pack, they would have been with him, right? Also, he has my rope. Third, we're being paid almost 10,000 gold to, kill this werewolf. That's a lot of gold. That could solve a lot of problems if anyone has problems that could be solved by gold.
Say, damn it, Nate.
think you're the
Thank
only
you for
one that
doing
has
this.
problems.
Thank you.
I mean, I'd like to try and finish it off personally. Just because if we don't, it might. Well, we can't guarantee that it won't come back.
And maybe it comes back for a human next time. Who knows? Look, you all talk about morals and doing the good and right thing. The good and right thing is to put this thing down. Isn't it weird how the least trusted member of the party is pushing to do the humane thing?
No one was pushing
Look.
against you except for Malcolm here.
Do you think that the thing
There-
in the mountains would be able to take on the werewolf in its current state?
There are plenty of beasts and monsters in the mountains that could technically take on a werewolf and win.
Well, if we happen to follow it and come across it being attacked by something in the mountains, and that something leaves a body part behind, that would be our contract solved. We just need to wait out of harm's way.
That is a good point. They did say bring back a trophy. So,
Either way, I believe we need to move quickly. This is probably the best chance we're going to get. It's probably not going to ever even come back at this point.
Are none of you
know
concerned
we're
about
waiting.
that bite on Anna?
I gave him a health potion. Like, he's fine.
I mean, it does. It tingles a little bit, but I think it's fine.
If
I
you-
am worried about it. It's like I said, it's a matter of time right now. This is our best chance to take this thing out, and we're probably not going to get another chance.
And also, this party could use a little bit more fur. I mean, I'm the only one rocking a fur coat full time.
I'm not going to turn into a wolf. I'm
It's
sure
okay. It's going to be great.
I'm sure of it.
You'll have a lot of fun. Don't worry.
I'm sure of it. Scratching at the bite.
Yeah, just like
Either way,
Yep.
either way, let's keep just. We know it's dangerous now. We will keep our heads on a swivel. Make sure we're moving a bit slower, just so we don't get ourselves caught in a trap. But we need to move quickly on this. We're not going to catch it.
should we still be looking for a werewolf, or should we be looking for a humanoid, though? Because if he's anything like Malcolm, he might have turned back by now.
We
I mean,
find
we were
one
following the same trail. It's the same trail. He's still broken. I assume there's broken twigs and trees and such, that he's not leaving a very subtle trail at all.
I mean, less so this far in, but it's certainly, it's still not incredibly difficult to track by any means.
We're following the same trail here. He's not leaving a very difficult trail to follow. He's not a humanoid yet. Once it changes, then I assume we will be following a humanoid. But
When you
either way,
transform, Malcolm, do you keep any injuries on yourself that you sustained?
My guess would be yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both forms are in many ways reflections of the other.
Then, if we do come across someone with severe burn wounds and stab wounds,
Or scars, even.
Do them in their
we will
eye.
probably know either A, know who that we've got our guy, or B, we'll come across someone who really, really, really needs some help.
And then we help them for a small fee. And then it's, look, either way, we come out on top.
I'm worried now that we are doing too much talking about this and less doing.
Good
Let's
point.
move.
Like I said, the time is of the essence here. We need to keep up with this thing before it finds a way to either heal or run away far enough where it's never going to be tracked again. I'm gonna start following the trail.
I'm going to try and pick up the trail again, since I never picked it up before.
Right. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna take point again.
All right. So you guys once again resume following the trail and continue moving on eastward, heading towards the mountain range, through the forest, through the timberlands, and another 5-10 minutes in, and the trail starts to get much more hard to follow. You continue for a little while, and you see, tossed to the side on one end, cut through the middle, Stefano, your rope, where the lasso was, has been cut and is now laying in the underbrush.
I'm going to pick it up. I will kill whoever did this to my rope. And then I'm going to stow it away.
I'm gonna. The trail's becoming really hard to follow, right? Yeah.
It has gotten significantly more so. Very few marks on the trees, no large branches snapped or big chunks of underbrush moved.
Would we be able to tell if he's moving quicker or faster or slower?
The footsteps have shrunken in size. They now do resemble more human footprints, and they are also much closer together. So presumably he has slowed down.
Okay. Well, he's in humanoid form now. We should probably even quicken the pace now. He's slowing down. We speed up or catch up to him fast.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can pick up the trail. Make it a little bit easier for Malcolm.
Survival check for you.
That's a 7.
Can I do my own survival check?
Of course.
You don't want my 7?
I'm just going to assist him.
Yeah, so Malcolm, go ahead and do one with advantage for Edwin's assistance. As Stefano starts kind of forging ahead a little bit, trying to follow the footprints and figure out where to go.
22.
So, takes you a moment before you kind of get a bead on where the trail's heading, and then just looking at certain ways the underbrush has fallen, where certain twigs are broken, following the footprints, you can keep the trail pretty well, and you'd step past Stefano with a little pat on the shoulder.
Oh, I don't necessarily want to let them know that I know what the trail is there.
Okay, well, you know where the trail is then.
Okay.
Even with my assistance?
With Edwin, you make an insight check, Edwin.
Alright. 16 plus 6 is 22.
22. So you are well aware of Malcolm's finding of a trail. Beyond that, he's the survival expert, but it seems like he has found something. He's kind of homing in on a certain point, but at that point...
Okay.
Yeah. It's still heading towards the mountains.
Yep. Same direction. Once it turned to be keeping the same distance from the city, it never really ventured off that path. Aside from just forced detours where it had to go around something.
Okay.
So what do you guys do?
Like I said, we should continue moving probably faster. We can catch up to this thing. Even before it hits the mountains.
I couldn't find the trail.
Well, we found the trail. If we move quickly, Malcolm, we can catch it before it even hits the mountain. Hadn't gotten that far ahead of us.
When we catch up to it, what do you propose that we do? It's now a human.
Oh, we make friends with it. We invite it to tea and biscuits. What do you think we're going to do to it?
We can either, if he's aggressive to us, we'll do what we need to do. But if he's not, we can easily take him in and bring him back.
I'm going to pat my rope.
We can't exactly take a humanoid trophy back to these people and not have them think we're just murderers.
Right. That's a bad thing.
Suddenly the moral center of the group.
We still can't let him just run free.
Exactly.
Well,
That's why we need to move quickly, Malcolm. I know you found the trail. Let's move.
I know where he's going.
Where's he going?
Well, when you're one like me, when you go to a city, you go searching for or any others similar. We continue on. I'm 95% certain that we will be coming right into a group.
A group.
Are you saying a group like you?
A group that can all become werewolves.
So we have to catch him before he reaches this group, is what you're saying. What Edwinson's saying. Let's go.
Have you met these people before?
I have not.
Then
How far are they inside the mountains or before the mountains? How far away are we from the mountains?
At this point, you're starting to get to where the ground is becoming more of the mountainous terrain. You're getting towards the base.
I'd say we need to move quickly then. Try and catch him off before he meets any group. If we don't find him within the next, say, hour or so, we need to start heading back. If this is as dangerous as you say it is, and there's enough people there, we don't want to fall into a village of werewolves. And we'll have to figure something out.
I would also prefer not to go into a village of people who can turn into dogs. That doesn't sound like a good time for me.
I mean, maybe we can reason with them. I mean, you seem reasonable. Maybe we could tell them what's happened and ask that they stop.
Malcolm also doesn't attack cattle.
Then if you hurled strings of insults at him as he ran away, I don't think he wants to talk to you.
I was trying to provoke him to come back. It's a very simple strategy.
Either way, I think we need to make a decision now. Like I said, if we're going to catch up to him, we have to go now.
Then let's go.
Then let's do an hour or two of walking, Malcolm. If we get too deep into the mountains where you start feeling that we're on the trail of some other tribe, then we'll leave. Is that agreeable?
Yes.
Then let's go.
All right, and this is just, you said walking pace?
I want to move quickly. I don't know how fast Malcolm's going.
Well, how fast are you guys moving as a group here?
Yeah,
I prefer dashing.
Dashing? All right. So
I'd also like to pull, kind of fade back with Edwin a little bit.
I mean, I'm towards the rear anyways because I'm slower.
I'm
clang, clang.
I'm afraid Malcolm's showing some sympathies towards the.
I can tell he is, but
what if he decides to side with them?
then we'd already be screwed. We're on their territory already.
Right.
If he wanted us dead, he would have killed us by now.
Fair, but I mean, you don't think he was holding back during the fight, do you?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. We can discuss it later.
All right.
All right.
Of all the people here to betray us, I would have surely thought Tanith.
You guys continue your redoubled speed, moving forward. Are you guys trying to be stealthy or fast here?
I think fast.
Yeah.
All right, so throwing stealth to the wayside in exchange for speed as you guys move forward through the trees, following this trail as best you can, maintaining any vigilance onto the cracked branches, marks in the trees where the underbrush has been trampled or pushed aside. You follow it off to where the ground begins to harden. The underbrush becomes more scarce, the trees fewer but larger individually as the ground becomes much less willing to give for the new plant life. All the things now remaining, having been standing for hundreds of years, as you start to cross into this more mountainous, rocky, earthy terrain. Moving up towards the pass itself, you do start to get back from the remnants of a trail. You start to get closer to what is a more fresh trail, which, upon inspection, there are wet spots along it. There's in various stages of drying, there are blood drops through it. But as you continue to follow, you start moving up into the base of the mountains themselves, starting to cross out of the Parchwood timberlands and into the Sierras themselves. Do you wish to keep going from here?
Malcolm, you can see it's yourself. He is injured. If you know how close we are to whatever he's heading towards, this now would be a good time to tell us. And if we're close, we can back up. But if not, we're very close to getting hit.
I know only of that it's here somewhere. I have not been here yet. I don't know exactly where.
But you were planning on visiting.
Possibly.
I'm gonna
like
look.
to let you know.
That's a discussion for another time.
And I did not expect a werewolf to be part of this contract when we first went to invest.
Right, because it's a discussion for another time. I'm gonna sneak a look over to Edwin, like, see?
I just want to see if I can pick up the trail.
Sure.
Solo.
Do you think he gets shoes when he turns back into a human?
Can I just
If you
ignore
really know
Candace?
Nathan, then Malcolm is naked.
Oh god.
Malcolm has actually been naked the entire campaign.
Edwin saw me politely averting our eyes.
I thought it was a human thing.
That's what
Why
you
would-
did.
would expect that.
If it's a human thing,
sorry,
why would
actually-
only Malcolm be naked?
I thought it was a human thing that sometimes people just go naked all the time.
I mean, it's not really not a human thing.
He's just trying not to be judging.
18
18?
is my survival. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, you can keep the trail pretty well at this point. With the marks into the more dry terrain, it is easier to actually see where the prints are, especially with the blood drops occasionally to kind of mark some of them and make it easier to spot amidst the kind of grayer, drier earth.
Okay. Does this path that we're on, or is this just like random rock? Does it look like it's been traveled well?
Looking at it, it definitely is a trail of some kind going inward. It's not just a random precipice of rock. It is likely a path deeper into the mountains that could lead all the way through as a pass, or it definitely looks more well-traveled. Not to the point where it would be like a trade route or anything, but more traveled than rock out here likely normally would be.
Okay. I need to see this done. I'm going to continue moving forward.
All right.
Following.
Going with him.
Going with.
All right. Edwin taking the lead, you all begin to march inward, keeping up the fast pace once again, or?
Yes.
All right.
Trying to.
So-
Hard when traveling on rocks.
So you guys, just with a doubled pace, keep moving inward, and following this trail deeper and deeper, you spend a good 15, 20, 30 minutes moving inward, your pace slowing occasionally as you get to some areas where the trail on one side kind of falls off into precipice and caverns below, winding it back inward to the mountains as you come to a expanse, a large opening where the sheer rock of the mountain juttons up on both sides into this crevice into the rock, which from this point where it leads down into this ravine, you can see a few specific things that stick out, which lining on both sides of this crevice, there are just tons of caverns. You can see birds' nests, you can see many different things along the little precipices that stick out from all of them. But off to the left, high upwards, built into the side of the rock, you see what's an old, ancient building of some kind that seems to be carved into the rock itself, several stories upwards, sticking outward from the edge of this crevice. Easy to miss, perhaps, if you were not looking upward and looking for it, but certainly not subtle by any means. This multi-story looking to be at least 2 or 3, maybe 20, 30 feet upwards in the rock building. And this trail leads downward into a lower cavern below it.
Is this what they told you to look for?
Malcolm, is it what they told you to look for?
Didn't tell me what exactly to look for other than that it's in the mountain.
I'm going to insight check, which is odd for me. But that's...
Yeah, I guess I have to as well.
Let's say you're going to insight check me all the time. That's a heathen's 20.
Malcolm, go ahead and make a persuasion or deception, whatever you want to. You don't have to say. And what'd you get, Edwin?
14.
Whoa. Stefano wins the insight war.
Whoa.
Stefano knows everything.
Nathan, check your message real quick. I want to verify something with you first.
I don't want to have to fight Malcolm, and I feel like that's what's coming up.
I just don't want to fight Malcolm either.
Well, I guess I got to go dog walking again.
Oh, here, Malcolm, by the way, let me send you your boss fight stat.
Okay. Gotcha. I was waiting for those stats to come through.
Yeah.
It's not funny. I'd be losing a person that I'm next to.
Like, just standing next to?
Yeah.
Reaches out to put a hand on your shoulder, and then werewolves and claws.
Throws me off the cliff.
Yeah, so,
Throws everyone off the cliff.
I mean, as far as you guys can tell, while visibly hesitant, he's telling you what he knows.
Look, Malcolm, what if I said we won't kill any of your friends? We just want that one person to answer for their endless slaughter of livestock. And I use the term friends, not as a all werewolves know each other thing, but as a you've been protecting them, reluctant to give us information, reluctant to show us where this is, kind of thing.
Wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that, right, Malcolm?
I'm gonna
Being reluctant in this information doesn't necessarily mean that I want to withhold it from you. just something that I'm not sure if you guys are going to be entirely welcome here.
I'm covered in fur. Also, I'm a cat, so yes, I can see where you're coming from. But look, he or she committed a crime. They need to answer for this crime. And Tanith, yes, some people will try to take advantage of you. It's rude, and terrible people do it, but some people will try to take advantage of you. It's a shame, really. Look, we all know I'm not the most follow the rules kind of guy, but we are being paid quite a bit of money and to just arrest him or her. So let's do the right thing. For once.
Can we just talk to them?
I could probably talk to them.
I don't think I'm comfortable you going down there alone. I'll be honest.
Do they have any rules
I also
against
don't.
attacking people? Because this kind of hurts a little. I'll be honest.
Look, why don't you and I go down there, Malcolm? I think I have a better chance than anyone else here. Or, I don't know, throw a party, have some. Are fireworks a thing?
I can make some.
No, I'm asking Nathan. Like, are fireworks a thing?
Oh. I mean, yeah. In some forms or another, mostly magical,
Perfect.
but yes.
We could throw a party for them, have some fireworks. I'll bring the fireworks, and I'll bring a lot of fireworks. If that's what you prefer.
Anyone else uncomfortable with me going alone to talk to him?
I mean, I would like you to have some form of backup or someone who could scream really loudly so we can know if they're trying to, if it's like, like the signal could be help, they're ripping out my spleen.
That's a little long for a signal, but I agree. That sounds like a good signal.
I don't think we should be splitting up right now.
So we all go down together. That would definitely, after one of their kind has been attacked, that would definitely be a sign of aggression. I think it should be Malcolm and one other person. And I think that other person should be me. While I'm not a werewolf, I'm not human. I can kind of relate.
If it shows our good faith to them, we could have some of us hang back. Like, we could let them know that we're here, but we would also not advance on them.
Oh, I am 100% sure they're already aware of our being here. This is their territory. I wouldn't be surprised if we've been watched this entire time.
I'm going to look around and see if I can spot anyone with him saying that.
Yeah, make a perception check.
I want to do that as well. That's been on my mind the whole time.
Stefano's going to barely resist the urge to look around in order to look as confident as he can.
I have a 19.
21.
You guys do not see anyone in the vicinity looking around.
Got me paranoid here.
Well, good. Be paranoid. We're in the middle of a werewolf's den. Paranoia keeps you alive. It's not the paranoid man who dies.
I think I'll trust you on this one, Malcolm. Whatever approach you think would work.
thing. Not my choice. We are a group.
I think that you should go in. If something happens, we should all be ready to rush in, help.
Oh, if you mean like if he convinces the werewolves to turn on us. Malcolm, I've known you for a short time, and in that time you've been trustworthy, but now when we come across, as you said, others of your kind, you grow hesitant. You start giving us not the whole truth. That's not like you. You're showing to be untrustworthy with this, and I have to do the right thing. Stefano looks a little sick.
I believe the best course of action here is to have you go in, Malcolm, by yourself. But Stefano, you being the least recognizable of our bunch.
You could say most beautiful, that's fine.
Saying you're good at being sneaky, I believe you can follow in behind. Slowly, just keeping an eye out. That way, if we need someone to come back out quickly, you can. And that way, Malcolm can do all the talking. I'm worried right now that this creature is still conscious. And he's already given descriptions of all of our bodies and what we can do to anyone inside. The moment they see us, they're all going to kill us.
My biggest concern with that, of me not being, you know me. I love to sneak around, but they will have caught my scent as soon as I step down there. So they'll know I'm there, and me sneaking will show a sign of distrust. I think with this one, we need to go with full honesty and be open.
You okay?
I feel very sick.
Like, I know I got bit, but there was a lot going on. Did you get hurt at all?
I'm fine. I'm exploring some new concepts today, and it's weird. So, that's my proposal.
I think
Malcolm.
either you both need to go, or we need to not go at all.
That's where I stand as well.
If they already recognize us, it's too late. We can't go inside.
Or,
But if you can get by that somehow, there's a possibility you can find our apprehendee and bring him back.
I'm sure as we show no signs of aggression on their territory, if they wanted us dead, we'd be dead. As soon as we crossed into their territory. So at this point, it's how honest are we going to be? How upfront?
What time is it right now?
Probably going on 4 a.m. The moon is starting to get a little lower in the sky, and the high light of the middle of the night is starting to fade back into a darker time.
If you two both wish to do this, I won't stop you. And if you do it, I'd say we can give you until the sun is up. And then we need to leave just in case.
Okay.
We'll go, Stefano.
Give me a minute. Yeah? I'm going to take Tanith aside for a second. and I'm going to hand him the ruby locket that's in a package. If I don't make it back, make sure she gets this.
Okay, but who though?
I'm going to take it away from him.
Pick the worst person to do that.
I thought I could trust him.
This is the same person that's trying to build a magical gun.
All right, you don't have to rub it in my face. I'm going to walk over to Soraya, who's just right there. And if she doesn't know who, I'm going to try Edwin. And then after that, I'm just done. I'll find a way to get it to her. I'm going to give Soraya the package. If I don't come back, give this to her. Yeah?
Okay. I think you should come back, though. I don't think she will like just it.
Oh, no. I completely plan on spending the rest of my life in short, terrifying amounts of pain inside of a werewolf's stomach. That's the plan. All right, Malcolm, let's go.
All right. As stick to the shadows.
Of course. No, I'm not going to necessarily be hiding. I feel like that'd be the wrong move.
All right.
All right, the two of you begin your approach to the lower cave. What are the rest of you going to do in the meantime?
I want to try and find just off of this path we're on, someplace where we can sort of duck away and be hidden from anything.
All
Take
right.
a short rest.
Yeah, the group of you guys can go find a place to hide where you can still maintain vigilance over both the entrance cavern and as much as you can see of that upper area. And yeah, short rest definitely, as you guys will be sitting here for quite some time, likely. Although we'll see how much of a short rest you get as this plays out. So
Put the package in my backpack so that I don't lose it.
as you get
Already dead.
as they walk down, it's that like horror movie trope where whoever's in back, just there's a flash and they're gone.
So I'm walking ahead.
So as the two of you move down, walking into the shadows of these twin crevices, you move into the mouth of this cave, following this trail, and moving inward farther, you can see that while the light is almost non-existent in here, it is relatively cleared out and straightforward as you move back what amounts to this almost spiraling upward path that starts to lead higher and higher into the stone. You guys gonna just follow it?
I'm looking at Malcolm.
I don't know if they have traps here. I'll be honest.
All right, fine. I'm going to investigate for traps.
All right.
Quick question. How long have we been out here?
You guys headed out before it started to turn dark. You think you headed out at about 8. So you've been out for, what would that be, for 8 hours?
Okay. I'm like, oh no, wait, the sun's coming up, isn't it?
Not yet. It's like 4 a.m. right now. So you've still probably got another 2 hours before the first bit of light starts to show up.
Okay. I'm going to give Edwin, I'm going to refresh his dark vision, and then I'm going to short rest to get all my key back.
Cool.
I got a 23 on my investigation.
23.
Traps.
Does not seem to be any traps of any kind. This path is decently well traveled, but only... You see just a lot of footprints of various kinds. And other than that, there really is no markings of any kind.
It's a footpath. I do not find any traps.
Didn't know. It's not certain it would be or not.
I hope not. Seems to be a well-traveled path. There are no markings besides footprints along here.
Malcolm will continue.
All right, you guys continue up the path where it spirals once or twice before coming around into this larger opening, a secondary cavern that seems to be carved out rather than naturally made. And as you enter into it, at the far end, you do see these faint bits of light in just a small crack, which, as you get closer and the darkness kind of clears slightly from the bit of light that appears from underneath that crevice, there it is a door cut into the stone. The other room itself, maybe 20 feet, roughly square, barren otherwise.
So do you guys have a secret knock, or
Again, I was not given the details about this place other than that I was going to eventually come here. And that is when I would have found out all that.
I was... Fair enough. I think they'd much rather see you go through first rather than me, but I can walk through first if you prefer.
No, I'll walk through first.
All right, so you walk over and grab the door handle and pull, and it slides open. It's not locked. And as you open it and the light spills from inward, you see that you are in the first of, just from the area outward that you can see as to your left, there are large openings in the walls. These balconies that, in a way, just allow this sight over the entire valley below. You can see Whitestone, a large portion of the timberlands, even as far as to see some of the sea far beyond. The room itself here just numbers these incredibly large rooms, standing probably 30 feet from floor to ceiling. 50, 60 deep into the mountain. You see a few people, several humans, 2 male, 1 female, sitting at a table. As looking, you can see the drips of blood trail leading farther inward past them. The group turns as they see the door open, and you see, first of all, you see a tall, blonde human male, lightly tanned skin, clean shaven, bit of a rough look to him. Looks like he has seen some better days, mid-30s. A female human, long black hair, looks to be late 20s, looks familiar, and after a moment you recognize her as one of the people that was in this safe house within the city when you spoke with Bartholomew the first time. Okay. Alongside a third person who you don't recognize, who sits there in heavy dark leathers, his hood still up. You can see hints of his face in the light, this very pale skin and dark short hair, a bit of a beard starting to grow that looks more just unkempt rather than an actual choice. The blonde man kind of stands up and starts walking towards you. Just eyes you carefully as he's walking. He doesn't say anything.
I'm going to motion for Stefano to stay back, though I'm not like saying he can't come in. Basically, I'm just.
I'm staying back.
Okay, good. And I'm gonna walk forward.
All right. As you approach, he gets to be right in front of you. You see now he stands probably 6'2", 6'3", very tall, very robustly built guy, even though he's showing his years. Just looks down for a moment. You know, I'm not sure who told you that this was your place, but I think you made a wrong turn.
I don't think so.
And why is that?
Going to pull the locket or the amulet out of my pocket.
You see a little bit of tension in his shoulders kind of lower. Well, that makes this a lot easier then. Okay. Come have a seat. And he just turns and starts walking back to the table. Shut the door before you come in, eh?
I'm gonna walk in and shut the door.
You see, like, he'd pulled out a chair, and as he turns to look, and he pauses for a moment. And who might this be?
Well, let's just cut to the chase. So, he is a member of the group I travel with, and we were hired to investigate the cattle situation.
All right.
And so our investigation led us to an encounter with possibly one of you three.
Nah, it wasn't one of us. We've been here all night.
I want to insight check that.
Go for it.
I also want to insight check that.
Go for it.
16.
18.
18. He seems to be telling the truth, and doing so with confidence.
Okay.
Could be someone else.
It could be.
I'm going to point to the blood drops.
Yeah. Strange how things happen, huh?
Would you prefer it if we talked privately?
You know, I think I'd rather you just say your piece.
I'm at a little bit of an impasse here.
I can see that.
You see, whoever has been attacking the cattle has been causing a bit of a stir and terrorizing the townsfolk here. If inadvertently, and they want it to stop, which is why my group took on that contract. I did not know it was going to lead here, as, to be honest, I was going to actually come here in about 2 days' time.
Right. And yet, in spite of all you're saying, here you stand. Not even with the niceties to wipe your boots before you walk into our doorstep. Look, I know you're one of us. Of that, you showed me. Doesn't mean you can come in here with the intent to kill another.
Oh no. I already made it clear, the group and my group agrees, that we don't want to kill. They just want to see one responsible, as they quote, serve justice. Isn't that what we wanted too? Not to become monsters in the eyes of those that we live with?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let loose a little bit. Helps keep the monster in check. That's all he was doing. Just once in a while, he'd go let loose on something that caused no harm to nobody. You know that farm has more cattle than they can count. What's wrong if 5 disappear?
I have a quick question, Nathan. Are there like any windows or anything like that? Like any openings that I can...
The left side of the left wall is mostly just not there. It's just a large open expanse into the like a view of the surrounding valley.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of just walk over there and lean up against the wall closest to it and get ready to throw something out in case things start to go sour.
All right. You are being watched like a hawk by the 2 that are sitting at the table.
Oh, I imagine. So I'm going to give them a nice little wave.
You see, one of them just gives you a smile that bears very pronounced canines.
Resist the urge to throw.
The other one, the female with just long hair, late 20s woman, just leans back in her chair with crossed arms and just watches you.
There's plenty of beasts in the Alabaster Sierras and in the surrounding Parchwood timberland.
True.
Great. Quite a more fulfilling hunt, so to speak.
He's not looking to fulfill a hunt. I mean, come on. There's only so much of that you can do. He was just looking to kill something.
I'm actually a little inclined to agree with him on this point. I mean, there's always, sometimes you get urges.
I'm not sure I like you, but I appreciate the point.
However, I mean, he could have stopped when he saw there were people defending the cattle.
I mean, it's like you said. Sometimes you get urges.
True.
How often do you get to fight something that fights back? Sometimes it's fun.
Why go after the defenseless cow in the first place and terrorize the lifestyle that these people are trying to make? The very one that we swore an oath to try and protect.
Yeah, we swore to protect it, and we do. Haven't hurt a single person. In fact, if anything, we've routed many beasts from these areas. In fact, we've done a lot for these people. And yet, we're still forced to live in the quiet, we're still forced to tell no one, and we're still forced to eat fucking bread that's been sitting in this place for 3 weeks. You kind of get stuck sometimes, and you just have a desire to do something about it. Trust me. We want to be the heroes, the people that just do good all the time.
Sometimes that's just not possible.
It's a bit cliche, but sometimes you got to be a monster. Just to keep it in check. I'd rather have him let it out against a cattle than against people. And trust me when I say I question sometimes how he got into the Order with a temper like that. He didn't kill any of you, did he?
No, he did bite our friend, but he's... He hasn't turned into a werewolf yet.
Nah, I should have that checked. But, all things considered, he's... maybe done a little harm, sure. We'll talk to him about that, get him to stop. I think that's the end of it.
Well, I'm satisfied.
I know you got something to say, kid.
I'm going to walk over to Malcolm, put my hand on his shoulder. Maybe we better go before this gets out of hand. He's made some good points. You've made some good points. He's made better points. He's going to discipline him on his end. It's fine. we just need to find something else.
Such a moral quandary Malcolm is thinking about right now.
Maybe Stefano wasn't the best person to go on this.
Well, it depends on what you wanted the outcome to be.
Very well. My friend was the main one who was questioning. I actually didn't want to lead them here in the first place. They wanted to push on.
I respect that, but shit happens.
Look at Stefano. Well, you're satisfied with that answer. I'm satisfied.
Perfect.
Well, feel free to come back. We can always talk more, especially in a few days when Ord's back.
Does that extend to both of us or just him?
I'll let you figure that one out.
I'm gonna give a little wave goodbye and head out the door.
I'm gonna kind of like nod respectfully to all three of them, and then head out, closing the door behind me.
All right, you guys head on out and make your way back down. You see about 30 minutes later, the two of them come back out of the cavern and start walking up.
Before we walk out of the cavern, Stefano,
Yes.
so what do you propose that we do? The group's going to want to be able to get that gold, including yourself.
That is
if
true.
agencies follow through.
That hurts. You act as if I don't have the best. Okay, so here's what I suggest. We tell them that he's promised to discipline him within his own reach. It's not going to satisfy Edwin, but if Edwin would rather charge up there and face them himself, he's perfectly damn well able to do so. And we go find... So there were other dire wolves in the forest.
Malcolm know that, Nathan? Yes?
I mean, certainly it's possible. There are wolves in the forest.
Okay. There's a possibility. There's a dire wolf. There are definitely wolves.
Well, let's go find some wolves, kill them, and bring back their heads.
We need an animal or a beast that will show signs of intelligence. They even said when they hired us, it showed signs of intelligence by going straight for the throat first.
I mean, most animals go for the throat. Have you ever seen dogs fight?
A wolf would lead it and only attack when it's at its most advantageous.
So what do you suggest?
And a pack would come to take down a cow.
Very
There's
true.
multiple wounds.
Well, what do you suggest? We could always just leave. That's always an option. Once again, Edwin would not like this. I think Soraya and Tanith would. Tanith has a little bit of a we need to do good, but we can definitely get rid of that well enough.
You mean leave Whitestone, or just leave the contract that we signed and agreed to fulfill out in the open?
Contracts are just words. And words are but wind.
Let's see what the group thinks.
They're not going to agree to anything I said, but let's go. Oh, don't mention that I said we could just wipe away the good from Tanith. Some people wouldn't find that morally sustainable or whatever.
Malcolm's gonna chuckle and just keep walking.
All right, the two of them come out of the cave and start making their way back up to where the group of you were and where you can see from your little alcove.
You know, I don't think I was included in the invitation to come back.
I don't think you were.
I feel like we could have gotten along. Oh, hello, guys.
Hi there. What did you find out?
Well, he said that he first apologized for it, said that this was unacceptable, and he was going to discipline the person within their own ranks. Then there was a bunch of secret society stuff that I really don't feel comfortable sharing.
I'm an inside check that.
Totally expected. Totally.
That's a 15.
You want to make a deception check.
It's a secret society. I don't know what I'm deception checking for.
Well, if you would
God.
like, you can use persuasion instead, but I'm pretty sure your deception is better.
They're both +4.
Okay.
That's a 19, actually.
Seems to be being honest, which surprisingly isn't that far from the truth.
Apologies get us nowhere, though.
He said he was going to discipline him in his own, and that man looks like quite the disciplinarian, if I may say so.
So there was only 2 of them.
Oh, there was 3 inside the room.
That we immediately
What did our mark look like?
Oh, he wasn't in the room.
What did they say they would do to him?
They said discipline, and I'm not sure I want to know what werewolf discipline is to another werewolf. I feel like that's a bit far from my tastes.
Then disciplining each other doesn't help us at all.
I said he was going to put a stop to it.
It doesn't help us at all.
If you'd like to go up and talk to them, you can.
No.
Just give me a 30-minute head
I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. I'm just saying a description of them would have been at least nice, so we could at least tell them what he looked like. That way he couldn't ever come back into town.
I look at Malcolm, look back at Edwin and go, there's a lot more going on here. It's better if we just let this be.
I mean, I'm kind of just interested in what they do for discipline myself.
God, go up and ask.
I asked Malcolm. I mean,
I don't know how they
I know
should be disciplined here.
You want to know what disciplining is like? I'll take you tomorrow.
I mean,
to a place where you can learn what discipline is like.
I mean, when someone said they needed to be disciplined in my family, they usually ended up going away for a very long time.
That's the look around horrifying. Is no one else horrified by that?
It's fine. It's just weird. They go for a week and they come back and then they usually never do anything bad again.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. That's. Did they go to camp?
I don't know. I made it a point not to ask. They usually just were missing a finger when they came back.
Okay, we're gonna come to that again.
Yeah,
later.
let's talk about this later. We need to start heading back. We have to figure out what we're going to explain to them. And we need to cough up another 300 gold for that cow.
I don't know where we're gonna find it.
I'm gonna insight check that.
It's not technically a lie. I don't know where we're gonna find it. I never said I didn't have gold.
That is fair. There's nothing. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
I forgot that we had to pay back if the cow died.
Anna made a point that we could find potentially another beast to take the fall.
No. I'm not about to lie to this farmhand and the owner of it that we somehow killed what were we planning to find? A random wolf. And that this random wolf was going to drag off cows on its own.
That's stupid. No, of course not. We'd find something else. Look, I know the town. I don't know the area around the town.
I mean,
how crazy do you
explain some things to them that I think they could figure out?
When you're not going to explain anything. If anything, it's going to be me and Malcolm that does the talking.
Well, I mean, the thing vaulted over the fence, so it probably messed up the fence a little, and then it threw a cow at the fence, so that probably also would imply it has hands.
Well,
either way, I'm not okay with lying to them.
Did you know it's not lying if you don't technically say anything?
Yes, it is.
It's lying by omission.
Shh, Soraya. Shh.
There's a reason
why
can I have the package
back?
Are things of legend.
No.
If we walk back and say, "Oh yeah, it's a werewolf,"
I mean, if someone didn't ask about something, don't need to tell them.
Thank you, Tanith.
No, and respectfully, I understand, Edwin, where you're coming from. You want to see the mark who actually attacked the cow brought to justice. However,
I mean, he's going to get brought to justice
by
his fellow werewolves.
Exactly.
They're going to make him go away for a while.
That's fine, but we're going to tell the owners the truth about what attacked them.
So you're going to tell them that there's werewolves living in the mountains that come down and attack their livestock.
Yes. And that we injured one very greatly and it ran away from us. And unfortunately, it was too fast for us before it got to their tribe.
I honestly don't want to even mention that they come from the mountains.
I don't want to mention the werewolf at all. That's just... Why can't we say it was an abnormally large wolf and we scared it off? That's not technically lying. What is a werewolf but a large wolf?
They're not going to believe that.
But they'll believe a werewolf, a creature of legend. That's like saying a vampire came down and drained their cattle.
And you act as if vampires are not unusual.
I haven't seen a vampire.
They do exist, though.
Sure, but not here. This is Whitestone.
Werewolves exist.
Well, sure, we travel with one, but that I wouldn't want to...
Exactly. It's not... this isn't a matter of debate to me. We're not going to lie to them about this just because you don't want to upset them or keep these werewolves at bay and keep them secret. Sorry, Malcolm. However, your friends... What's to say that there's one that, even though he's apologetic, isn't going to start springing for humans?
So you'd let this town be overrun?
How is it going to be overrun?
So
by warning them about these creatures?
Edwin, so let's say you have a town. Yes? The town is full of innocent people, and you have the walls around the town. Well, one day, a stone falls off the wall and kills a cow. So in response, you tear down the walls. What's left? Nothing but defenseless people. All sorts of things can move in.
No idea where this metaphor is going.
I feel like
tear down a wall because one rock fell off.
That's exactly what you're trying to do.
These are werewolves, not walls.
So you're
Edwin, I can assure you that they would not attack you.
Can you assure me that?
I can also actually
That
might
werewolf attacked us just the same, just for protecting a single cow. He bit Tana. Can you assure me that there isn't a single werewolf in that tribe that would not harm a hair on any of those civilians' heads?
I can and will. What would you like?
I don't believe you for a second.
Name it.
Protect me from another werewolf.
I'm not protecting you from a werewolf, but I swear,
Okay,
I'll swear on anything that a werewolf won't attack people.
I'm going to look to Malcolm and just, am I going to be okay?
Here's a question. Are we walking while we're doing this? Or are we like literally still out front?
At this point, you guys haven't left. No one has said you left, so you're still just standing there.
Still out front. Okay.
Just bickering outside in the mountains.
I'm sure they're all watching us.
Did they say anything about me being in danger?
We'll worry about that. We'll worry about that when we get back to town.
Nathan, Malcolm would know enough about the bite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just from the nature of the order stuff.
Hey, here, you guys just keep bickering. I'll send you a message.
Okay. Edwin, imagine yourself as an alpha predator.
I'm done with these metaphors.
Edwin, I'm trying to help you here.
I don't need help.
You go to hunt and you kill at times when you feel the urge to. Something that's just Sate's thing. Suddenly you come across an intelligent creature that fights back. Would you not want to see where you stand? Yes or no?
Are you asking me if, because I hunt, if I was a hunter, I would want to test my abilities on an intelligent creature?
Considering if you're an alpha predator.
I'm not an alpha predator.
Well, let's pretend like you are.
I said I'm done with these metaphors.
You were a sad child.
You can't assure me that this werewolf is not going to attack anyone. You can't. You can tell me you can all day long, but you can't. Neither can you, Stefano. I even think less from you saying that you could.
At least I have imagination. Like, you must have been a very
You
sad
all can believe that this werewolf and all of them among them are the safest creatures alive. I am not going to go to this farmhand and tell him that his cattle are completely 100% safe and that everyone in that village is not possibly in danger because there are several werewolves hiding in the mountains.
He never asked for us to ensure that his cattle were 100% safe, and that, in fact, is a ridiculous request.
I don't believe that.
He
Obviously
asked,
However, he asked us to kill whatever this specific creature is. We didn't.
He asked us to get rid of the problem.
I'm going to tell him exactly what it is, and that's it. Even if the problem's solved, I'm not going to tell him what it isn't.
You're making a large mistake.
How am I making a mistake by possibly saving people from things that they don't understand are out there yet?
Because bigger things come. Bigger, scarier things.
So we're just going to let these smaller scary things happen because a bigger thing might happen?
Yes.
I'm not even doing anything about this. I'm just telling them what it was. That's all I'm saying.
You want to turn Whitestone into a town full of pitchforks and torches against a sect of people that you don't even have a full comprehension of what they're actually doing.
You have no idea who they are.
I know this one specifically.
You know one of them.
He threw a cow on me after he tore his throat out.
And you're a very annoying
After we
human.
all attacked him.
He was raising a cattle field.
So imagining myself as an alpha predator.
Already like 5 minutes ago.
I run into something that's important. my first instinct would be, oh goody, a fight. I can test myself. Certainly it wouldn't be, well, if I can bite one of them, that's good. It'd probably be to avoid them because they're intelligent and also can reason and make sane decisions.
Trust me when I say this, Tanith. Somebody who's very good at what they do gets bored and they look for challenges. Just trust me.
Oh, I kind of figured that. It's just that, you have to ask yourself, well, what happens when they get bored of the thing they think is challenging?
That's my exact point. You can't ensure me that these creatures will never hurt a human in this town.
You can't ensure
and
that
all
I'll
I'm
never
saying
hurt a human.
is I'm okay.
You can't ensure that. You
That's
can't ensure
opposite of
anything.
what I'm asking.
No,
I'm saying
you're going on the
that these-
fact that us telling them that there's a bunch of werewolves living in the hills won't cause mass panic, won't hurt people. What you're
I'm not yelling it from the streets.
No,
I'm not telling
you're
them
telling
to
it to a
announce
possibly very influential family who's going to have a bid to go and get this town involved in a fight that they shouldn't be involved in the first place. You're possibly endangering an entire city for 10,000 gold pieces. Well, 9,000.
I'm not asking for the gold. This
So you're
isn't
doing it
about
for
gold
free?
anymore.
That's even worse. You're going to endanger an entire town for free.
How is the entire town going to be endangered by a handful of werewolves? Sure, people would get harmed. Is it better than having them just rampage on civilians whenever they willy-nilly want?
Do you see them
They're just going
rampaging?
to pick them off? No, they're going to pick them off one by one when they want to, though.
Right.
That's not something I'm going to allow.
How long have they been here, Malcolm?
Nathan, I don't know if Malcolm would know that, right? Like generally order-wise, he would probably have an inkling, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
think,
know about like specific sect here.
Yeah, I mean, you
would
could
know.
Yeah, you could confidently say like a while, but
Okay.
you definitely wouldn't know to the year or anything.
Okay. They've been here a while.
No people
Living
have
in the
gone missing.
shadows, protecting Whitestone from those that they can't defend themselves from.
Slavers, for one.
I'm going to step up to Edwin. And I'm going to pull out the amulet of the Raven Queen and show it to him, the matron of ravens.
This means nothing. We had
I
a
know you know what this.
giant box full of them in my town. Anybody can grab one of those.
I'm going to turn it around so he sees the crest of the Claret Order.
I assume I have no idea what they're doing.
It's probably a symbol you have seen at some point, but you definitely don't know in depth much about it. But just as he turns it over, you see that the blood drop with the dagger beneath.
And this is the order you're a part of?
Also the order they are a part of. We have...
They also have one single rogue werewolf among them.
Not rogue.
It's rogue enough that he needs punishment, right?
People step out of line from
I'm
time
not
to
going
time.
to tell them that this werewolf doesn't exist.
Then don't say
Fine.
anything at all.
If you want me to not talk about the order or the others inside, for your sake alone, Malcolm, because I can trust you, I will say that there is more. But this one alone, I am going to say there is a werewolf. One that we injured badly and got away. Hid in the mountains. That is what I will tell you. And I won't budge on that.
And if your words trigger panic, or even what turns into a quote-unquote righteous hunt for
A
this
crusade.
mythical beast,
we'll lead them in the other direction. We'll keep them away from your tribe.
any competent hunter will find the obvious trail.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to lie to these people and tell them it was some random beast.
Then don't be
One of
there.
your herd possibly could attack a civilian. I let tiny details go like that before, and I'm not going to do it yet.
Those of us who stay faithful to the order and its tenets would never raise a finger against this.
Do those tenants protect cattle and the people that run those businesses? Because if they don't, they already broke. Or if they do, they already broke. And I'm not saying that there aren't more like you, or almost all of them aren't like you. But this particular werewolf struck us, and he's been striking this farm for some time. He's just testing himself. What keeps him from eventually testing himself on a human?
Because the minute he does, the minute it'll be torn apart. From what I understand.
We tried to do that, and he got away.
Yes, well, we're not a
Doing
pack
it
of
over and over.
werewolves.
Yeah, and he's a single person. What's to keep him from moving away from doing this silently? Obviously, these people didn't know he was doing this. Now he's receiving punishment. That's why I said I won't budge on the fact that I'm going to tell them that this singular werewolf has been attacked. You want to keep your order safe, we'll tell them that they're the werewolf that ran off into the woods. He got away from us. But he's been striking those farmhands. I can't protect them always, and I can't protect them every time that he wants to bloodlust for another cattle or another person.
I just ask you this, Malcolm.
Yes, Tana?
Do you think what you're doing is the right thing?
Regarding this, or as a whole?
This. Letting him be dealt with by the order and not killing the farmers.
The farmers would deal their own version of justice. It's something that they don't understand.
From my experience, humans are excitable and tend to attack things that they don't understand. They lead by fear first. Which is why you have records of humans with pitchforks and torches, and no other race doing that.
When we first met, and I'm addressing everyone in the party, if I had come out and said, "Hi guys, on an adventure with you. I'm a werewolf, by the way," what would your response have been?
I would have laughed.
Not positive. I'll even say this. If you're so worried about this breaking of panic, why don't we speak to the owner directly? You can even speak directly. You can spill your secrets about this order being there and that you are trying to protect them from being hurt.
What part of a secret society do you not understand?
That's why I'm saying it to tell a single person. Someone with influence. If this person was so willing to immediately, or even you could not tell them about the secret society at all. Just tell them the werewolf was there. However, we don't want to stir up a panic about this. You can tell them that it's there, and not have everybody in the entire city know about it.
Wealthy people are the least trustworthy. I say this from experience. They will do whatever it takes to ensure that they keep their wealth. If they will promise us, even write down, I will not start a panic. But words are wind. Contract is paper. It doesn't matter. They will set it so that they don't themselves release it. But a servant may just happen to see werewolves in the town, werewolves attacking town. The servant spreads it to other people. Everyone gets riled up in a mass panic. Soon the guards are called to hunt down these werewolves, and they're led into a slaughter. I would say we're probably among the more powerful of the people that have been in this town. And we couldn't take down one of those by ourselves.
We could. He ran between his tail between his legs.
Because he was intelligent enough to do so. A feral wolf pack on the hunt, or even a feral werewolf, would have struck out instinctively on anyone close by and probably tried to murder all of us.
One or two of us would have gone down. I'm being 100% honest.
That's great. Still doesn't change the fact that you could hurt a single person. There's 5 of us. It's easy for us to see why he could run away and feel scared enough to run away.
You say he didn't
hunting down and tracking one person. He's easily going to destroy them.
I don't see what. Did you say he didn't hurt a single person?
No.
Good.
He hurt every single one of us.
We cannot lead them here. We cannot give them anything that would lead them to these people. These people already suffer enough for what they do for us.
You act as if you're one of them.
I'm not.
How do you know of their deeds then?
I spoke to them.
They explained to you their entire history of saving the good and the righteous through the many bloody years that I've known werewolves. This order might be, as they say, and I believe Malcolm, because he's one of them. But werewolves are notoriously bloodthirsty killers, whether they want to control it or not.
There is so much you don't understand about this.
I understand enough to know that I know what you're trying to do. You're being good and righteous, using your powers for good. Fine. And your order can do that. However, one among you is breaking your own tenets. And I'm not going to lie to these people about it.
All right. Edwin, remember back with the bone snake?
What
that
about
we fought?
What about it?
I struck out at one of you.
And this helps your case.
Would you say that I broke a tenet for not hurting innocent people then?
Did you hurt someone? Did you do it malignly?
I'm not saying that it is fully in control.
It makes it even worse. It makes me hard to trust you even more. How am I supposed to trust this single person who has already broken your tenets, knowingly, and done it purposely, with not hurting a civilian? You at least have been trying.
Yes. And there are things that we do to keep it in check as much as we can. Knowledge originally bequeathed to us by the one you worship.
Would I have read about that anywhere?
Go ahead and just make a history check.
Kenneth is gonna take this opportunity to walk up to Malcolm and put a hand on his shoulder.
10.
10? No, go ahead, Dennis.
Dennis is gonna just take this opportunity to walk up to Malcolm and put a hand on his shoulder, and just looking me in the eyes as he just asks, "I understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and the situation. But I just need to know one thing before I make a decision one way or another. Do you think what you're doing is the right thing? It's simple. It's yes or no."
Yes.
Then I support your decision.
So you've definitely heard the term of the Claret Orders before. It was in the same tomes where you would have seen the symbol before. But part of the existence of the Claret's Orders is one of secrecy and keeping things private. And as such, a lot of information that they have, especially in their history and their workings, does not leave the Order's own personal tomes and histories. So to find any real detailed information, you did not have the present information to do so.
Raven Queen has given me many gifts. And if she gave them to you, that's fine. I didn't ask for my gifts. However, I made it my duty that once I did give these gifts, and no one else would be harmed with them. Whatever gifts that you were given to defend whatever you feel you need to defend is fine. That still doesn't stop one of your own doing the things that he's done and not being able to hold accountable for himself. So what do you want to do about that? Your order just saying they're going to be punished is not good enough for me.
Edwin? Let's go talk to the owner. Let's go see. By the owner, I mean...
Oh, the owner. Yes.
The owner.
Let's go.
And let us see what happens.
What are you going to tell them? I'll let you do all the talking if this is what you want. You can still protect your order without giving them all of the information. But I don't like that. It's not justice to me. This person is not obviously accountable for his own actions.
We'll tell them what you want them to know. We will not endanger the order. Tell them about the one singular werewolf that attacked the cow. We injured it. And it went into the forest where we could not track it.
That's fine with me. That's all I want. I'm gonna start walking back.
Kenneth? Might want to get that bite looked at before the next full moon.
Okay, but from who? And where?
Any cleric. Any cleric.
We'll take you to the Raven Queen Church.
Okay. I'm gonna be okay though, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
We're just gonna take you to a cleric. You'll be fine.
Dad's just gonna take a bite of some of the jerky ration. Nervously, just gnawing on it.
While we're walking back, I'm gonna hang back a little bit and just like tug on Stefano's sleeve.
Yes.
And reach into my backpack and just like shakily hand you the package back.
Thank you.
I look disturbed. I'm gonna while we're walking, I'm just gonna say, they're going to hurt them, aren't they? They're going to send people because they don't understand. They're going to hunt them down.
Well, I mean, not to sound too racist, but humans are stupid creatures. They are creatures of instinct and not rationality. They tend to act before thinking, and they lash out and not understanding. So, probably. And they're probably going to be led into I see two outcomes happening. The humans either chase their protectors away, or they force their protectors to defend themselves, which would cause more humans to go, and their defenders either die in a big combat, or they chase the defenders away. And that leads into something bad coming in. Something terrible. Anything from actual rabid werewolves to slavers to invaders. Nothing good can come of this. And when Whitestone is reduced to rubble, I will bring Edwin back here and make him face his actions. And this feels very uncomfortable for me because I'm not usually in this position.
I'm going to unwrap part of my arm wrappings just around my wrist. And I'm going to show him the scars. And I'm going to very quietly tell him it's hard to understand if you haven't been through it. And I'll wrap it back up and go on my way.
It is. And then I'm going to catch back up to the group and pull Tanth aside, and I'm going to try and convince him that being a werewolf is a good idea. And being a werewolf.
Oh my god.
What did you want to talk about, Stefano?
Oh, no, nothing. Do you really think being a werewolf would be all that bad?
I kind of like being an elf.
True. You wouldn't stop being an elf. You would just also be a wolf. Then you know what would be cool? you, me, and Malcolm could all hang out in a special club.
I mean, it seems like Malcolm and is like a special type of werewolf.
He is.
And this other one seems like he was more on the other side.
He made some mistakes, but
if I become a werewolf, I don't want to hurt you guys.
oh, don't worry, we'll help you out. I mean, everything can be controlled. There's just sometimes people have anger issues and they need to let out these anger issues, and being a werewolf, I assume, makes those anger issues worse. You don't seem to have anger issues. I'd actually be really curious to see you as a werewolf.
I don't really express it that way, but I don't think I'd want a werewolf with my temperament.
Fair. I guess it'll just be me and Malcolm in the secret club then.
I mean, honestly, if I were a werewolf, there'd probably be a lot of people dead.
You got to think about self-control. I don't kill a lot of people. You don't have to either. Malcolm doesn't kill a lot of people. It's all about self-control. I mean, you have access to spells that can tear apart the fabric of reality. You make fire appear out of nowhere. You don't kill a lot of people with that. Why would this be any different?
I mean, usually I have like a reason not to.
Right. Do you think? Go ahead.
I think usually, that person probably has a family, or that person's probably trying to be a good person, and it keeps me from doing what I normally like to do. But I don't know. There are times when I kind of, you know how it goes. You go into a bit of a trance, and you start just attacking blindly.
I think I'm going to introduce you to some people. And you may find that you may find them to be a particularly helpful group of people.
I mean, like they say, or at least like the elves say, what happens in the trance happens in the trance.
Okay.
And luckily I'm not like my dad, or God forbid my mom. Oh.
What do you mean?
Well, my dad had a bit of a temper, controlling parents. They want you to succeed the most. But my mom was, she could get angry sometimes. One time a servant, she broke some of fine silverware we had, like a teacup. She dropped it by accident. My mother turned her into a statue.
Oh.
Yeah, she really had a temper.
Do you need to talk to someone about? Because I'm not going to lie. I don't come from a very happy childhood. I mean, if you wanted, we could trade war stories back and forth when we're not, surrounded by the group.
Maybe. I'll be honest, I've kind of been focused on that project I've been working on.
Understood. It's good to lose yourself in your work.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, we do need to go pick up the flowers tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, the flowers.
Right.
Let's keep going.
Good idea.
Make your way down the mountain pass through, staying closer to Whitestone and staying out of the forest as you head back, making your way over towards the farms, and arrive there a little after what seems to be 5:30. The first small bits of light starting to show at the very edge of the horizon. No one's really starting to work yet. It's still a little too early for that. What would you like to do?
Head on into where Jumar typically sees us and see if he's around.
Yeah, heading back to the main farmhouse. You don't see any lights on and at this point yet.
I guess we're waiting now.
Just waiting around then.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I would be doing.
Yeah, so you wait another half hour, 45 minutes as the light begins to creep over the horizon, and after a while you do see a light come on in what presumably a bedroom as Jumar awakens and begins a few things before coming downstairs as some of the first of the farmhands begin to arrive for the day's work.
Jumar.
Oh, good to see you back. You look a little banged up. I take it you found him.
About
Yes. Would it be possible to speak with the owner of the farm, the lady Double Tom?
I could certainly try. Is this that urgent?
I'd say yes at the moment.
It's about what we were contracted to do. And in the contract it says be handled without a lot of people noticing.
Fair enough. I'll see what I can do. You'll probably be going to her rather than her coming here. Fair warning.
It's fine.
Go ahead and, make yourselves comfortable. It'll probably be a little while. There's chairs downstairs. There's a pot of tea on. Feel free. So he leaves and sends a runner into the city. You guys probably have a good hour before he'll return. If there's anything you wish to do in that hour.
I'm going to look to Malcolm and I'm going to ask. So, I take it this is going to make me like you if I don't get it treated.
There's a chance it could.
If I did, would I be like you, like sane, or?
Oh Lord, Nathan. I'm guessing I would know that the order lycanthropy is definitely different enough where it's not the standard.
Oh, most definitely. Lycanthropy in D&D is permanent, and it doesn't just appear during a full moon. Once the change happens, you are a werewolf. And you all just to kind of describe it in a few sentences, in one sentence, your alignment changes to chaotic evil.
Yep.
So
I wanted to hear from you how you were running lycanthropy.
Oh yeah.
With that. So.
I keep it the D&D way because it's more fun to have permanent werewolves.
Unless you followed the path of my training, you would be nothing like. You'd also be nothing like the person that we are about to turn in.
Which I'm still against, by the way. I say from where I'm curled up by the fire.
Probably get cured then. I mean, I don't want to be out of control of my actions.
And most definitely get that looked at.
I mean, yeah, I kind of just live life as a sort of do what you think is right sort of thing. And if I couldn't tell what was right and wrong and I was a werewolf, I don't think I want to risk turning into one.
And yeah, let's keep that from happening, shall we?
So the hour goes by of you guys just having a cup of tea if you'd like, but otherwise just resting and
I want to be
wood carving.
Frustratingly wood carving. Oh god, it's above a 10 because it is a 10.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, actually, it's 11 because it's +1.
Hey, all the 10.
Yeah, that's a success. So it's progress. All right, but the hour continues, and after a while, the runner comes back and exchanges a few words with Jumar, who comes into the group of you. Well, she's willing to see you today. Just go ahead and make your way up to. You ever been to the Nobles district in Whitestone?
Yeah.
Well, just you know what? Actually, here, this will make it easier. And he heads into his office for a moment, and he comes out, sort of like filtering through a few papers, and pulls one out. Grabs a quill off of the desk by the door and signs his name. This will get you past the gate, at least with a less hassle, and then just make your way to the Davatants, and from there you can, just tell whoever's at the front door that you're there for a meeting with Lady Alessandra, and they'll get you settled.
Alright. I'm gonna take it. Stuff in my back pocket. Thank you very much.
Would I recognize that name from previous experience in Whitestone?
You would recognize the name Davitant, for sure. They have been nobles here for quite some time. Lady Alessandra, you would know just... You would at least know that she is one of the younger daughters of the family.
Okay. Damn. All right. I can lead us there. I've been a frequent visitor of the Nobles District.
I don't even want to ask why. Lead away.
Thank you. I say to Jamar.
Thank you. You're taking on a task that not a lot of people were willing to try, so it's appreciated. So you guys all start making your way into the city, Stefano taking the lead. And as you guys make your way through, Stefano leading you through the main square and towards the gate, the gated area off towards Castle Whitestone itself. And as you approach, the guards stop you for a moment, but you pass them the paper and they let you on through. As you make your way through, you see there are 5 larger homes, look to be more almost entire estates than just a single home. Most have several buildings with one main large mansion-like building. Asking around one of the people just walking in the area, they point you to the second from the left home as the house of the Davatants. It is a very opulent home, standing 4 stories, very wide on either side, a garden approach with a lined pathway. You see groundskeepers out tending all of the plants, all of the hedges, trimming everything, keeping all the ponds and the small little rivers that flow through the area clean. It's a definitely very showing, it is a place that shows its wealth very clearly. And as you approach the door, it opens before you can even start climbing the steps, and a servant dressed in a simple suit younger man, looks to be maybe in his early 20s. And good afternoon and welcome to the estate of the Davetants. For what business have you come today?
Good afternoon. We're here for a meeting with Lady Alessandra.
Of course. Allow me to fetch her, and if you would, please, just follow me and I will show you to the room where this will be taking place.
Of course. I'm going to, before I walk in, I'm going to, brush my feet off so I'm not tracking.
Malcolm will follow suit.
I don't brush my feet.
And Edwin's feet were the most caked with mud.
I brush my I'll brush my feet.
I mean, he is weighed down by that heavy armor.
So
also, a country bumpkin, man. I don't know what the hell you're guys.
He leads you guys through the main doors. You see the main entrance hall, a central staircase that leads up into a balcony splitting left and right. To your initial left and right down on the main floor, there are two large sets of doors, where he leads you through the left one and into a waiting room that does have several couches alongside some tables, and he gestures for all of you to sit. Now, I will fetch Lady Alessandra, and would any of you care for some tea or perhaps a small bit of wine, or...
I'll take some wine.
I'll have some tea.
Of course, I will send someone to catch those for you, and I will go and fetch Lady Alessandra. And he turns and heads back through into the main hall and disappears for a moment.
How nice are the paintings in here?
They are, for the most part, it seems like they are all like original oil paintings done for the family. There are portraits of prominent members. Looking about, you can see some that are just very, very nice works of art, paintings of landscapes and animals, and just the same opulence that you saw out in the garden is present here within the house as well.
Stefano's fingers twitch.
And a few minutes pass before the same servant comes in, and he holds the door open and gestures, and you see a woman who looks to be in her late 20s, long brown hair tied back in a braid, bright green eyes, very fair skin, just dressed in simple, it looks to be just presentation garb. She steps forward, just into the room and looks across the group of you.
I'm going to give her a bow.
She just gives a slight bow in return.
Tip my hat.
I'll also bow.
And then take it off.
Well, I would assume that you are all the group that was sent from Jumar, yes?
Yes.
Correct.
Then, well, please let us have a seat and discuss. I'm honestly a little surprised that this business could not be handled down at the farm.
Well, I'm afraid my companions and I are a bit. I'm going to look at our blood-soaked armor and clothes. We're a bit unkempt, and we wouldn't want to ruin your upholstery.
That's a fair point, and I do thank you for that. But please, then allow us to, in exchange for your willingness to do this service, do allow us to give you a small amount of time here in which to bathe and change. We can provide you with clean robes and you can make yourselves comfortable, and I can have my people tend to your wounds before we have our discussion.
That would be divine.
Wonderful.
Oh,
then
thanks.
I will resume the work I have. Young Gerard here will show you to the bathhouses and make sure that you are all taken care of finally, and you will fetch me when we are done.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And Gerard, after she exits the room, Gerard motions for all of you to follow him, and as he leads you to the bathhouse, that is where we will pick up next week.
Perfect.
Nice.
Well, that got heated. Well, that was really interesting.
look, Stefano actually found a group of people he agreed with. So I'm standing up for these people. And Sarai, I was talking about the one where it was like everyone's in fancy ball clothes and some people are just outrageously uncomfortable in them. Like, because I think this will be the first time that, like, at least Edwin, if I'm correct, has been wearing like noble level clothes. Yeah,
I don't even know what noble level clothes are.
little country bumpkin in his armor.
I'm not excited for next week.
Well, until next time, this has been fun. This was a really cool episode that we got to see a lot of angry people. But until we come around again for the interesting conversation with Lady Davetante, I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you all next time.
I guess.